All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to some Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. I am here today with Night Dew, an amazing FF runner in his own right.
Thank you.
And I'm going to get them started once they let me know that they're ready to go.
Okay, while we're waiting on them to get started, we are seeing them with a Edward start here, but probably do want to explain a little bit of the flags they're in for today as well.
All right, so it looks like we are running what's called a cattle light, but they are the flags have been modified just a tiny little bit, just for some interesting stuff. We went ahead and changed the W flag to 2, which will be interesting. Because what that does is basically Wyvern starts with an attack called Mega Nuke in just any other time that you see him. But W2, he can start with actually any attack in the game. So I've seen Charm. I've heard people get Big Bang before. It's pretty interesting.
I did hear the Big Bang. It looks like we're just starting here. We do want to see who starts with Edward. Now, also, with the Cat of Light flags, we're going to see nothing in shops, so there's going to be cabins and more cabins. Looks like we've got a Palom start.
Palom and Edward. That's actually not too bad of a start. Edward can be really useful super early, especially if you find something like Dancing Daggers or a bow with some really decent arrows. And Palom, of course, as soon as Palom gains 1 level, he learns a level 2 Ice Spell, which is very powerful, especially really early.
Especially. Definitely, I see him. They're probably going to go to Baron here. Just start looking in for a couple of those good things for Edward to get off the ground, really, because like you said, Palom just starts out really fast.
And that ninja cap that they just picked up will add +3 to agility, and really, I think anybody except for Dark Knight Cecil can use it.
Oh yeah,
it's a really good cap. It's good for defense, and adding that +3 to agility will be good for either Edward or Palom there, because we get some more DPS.
no, very much so. Looks like we have Kane hanging out in the Baron Inn. He's guarded. The first boss there is Bahamut, which isn't going to be too much trouble, but we don't know who the second boss is, and he usually hits pretty hard, so we're going to see them both probably move on just a little bit past that. But that will probably come back pretty quick, because Kane will be a very solid pickup there.
Oh, absolutely. And I believe that slot only has about 400 or so HP.
Yeah, the first slot has 400, the second has 4,000, and more importantly, just has usually physical hits like a truck, so he's a little dangerous starting out with just 2 people here.
So usually what people do when they first start off is they try and hit up these item-dense areas like Baron and Damps Inn, just because there's amount of treasure, especially with these flags, since there are no the only thing that's in shops, armor, weapon, item shops, is cabins. So we're really just relying on treasure to be our equipment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The pickups like the Cure 2 potions, Cure 3's life, they're going to be really fairly important. Actually, I see a lot of good things coming out of there. Runex, a Moon Veil, looks like a couple other decent things. So that was a pretty good. Yeah.
So some people will go in and grab the hovercraft like Nikki is doing now. Some people will hold off and wait. It's all just dependent on what you do, on what you want to do. Netara is heading to the Antlion Cave, which is another really item dense location and has a relatively easy boss to get through.
Oh yeah, it's definitely good. Especially this is a really good play with Palom there, because it's going to get him that 1 level or 2 where he's going to get that tier 2 spell and ready to go.
So it looks like Nikki's just really doing like a treasure hunt right now. She's trying to find anything that can go on Edward or Palom to try and make the fights a little bit easier. This watery pass is actually really item dense. That waterfall that Nikki just passed, if you go down in the water and enter it, there's actually a hidden room in there with 3 chests. And it's really item dense. The only problem is that if you want to keep going deeper and you don't have either a white mage with exit or an exit item, you kind of have to walk all the way back out, and that can kind of cut into your time.
Oh yeah, I did see a Dragon Whip come down there, so if they find an early Rydia on Nikki's side there, that's going to be a really good offensive option for the early game.
Yeah, some really good items so far to start with. Sometimes you get really lucky, and I see Artemis arrows on Netara's side. That's really good.
I don't think I see a bow yet, unfortunately, but definitely good when Netara does find a bow to shoot those things. Looks like Nikki's going to make the Hobbs play here.
So with Mount Hobbs, what the reason that Nikki's going there is there's no key item, but there is a character there that we can get to join our party if we can get through the boss that's there. The problem is the boss has a fair amount of HP, and going there early can kind of be a little bit rough, especially if you get somebody like Wyvern or Golbez or something like that. And it looks like an either.
The good news is you do get the third character to help you in that fight there, so you're not 100% alone. Sid showing up there can usually be the best thing going for you.
And having Mylon there is actually super nice because it's a relatively weak magic spot, magic power-wise spot, so Mylon's lit isn't going to do too much. Honestly, I probably would have tried to push through with that fight, especially for Porum.
Oh yeah, I think one good shot of the twin magic actually would have done it there. We got Kenazo on the other side at Netara. He was throwing some blizzards at it here. It shouldn't be too awfully bad here. That fight's only got 1,000 hit points, and that wave attack is actually based on Kenazo's maximum HP, which is not very much here. So Netara should get through that pretty easily.
So you saw Netara use the command called Bluff. What that does is it raises Palom's magic attack for the rest of the fight, and you can stack it as much as you want. One thing with Kenazo is he's actually weak to 2 different elements, but it just depends on what his sprite looks like at the time. If he has the water surrounding him, he is currently weak to lit. If he does not have the water surrounding him, or he's in his shell, he's actually weak to ice.
Another thing you'll see there is Netara just saw a remedy, and any boss you see that uses remedy, you can actually just tell, whatever uses remedy, you can actually tell what their maximum hit points are, because remedy will always heal 10%. So we know, again, that the Antlion boss here, or at least the Antlion slot, has 1,000 maximum hit points.
Yeah. So for locations with like a single boss like this, usually we know the HP value of the. But for say like if Kenazo was at like Maga Sisters or something, since that's originally a split value slot, we could actually find out what the HP value is there of them combined if we have Kenazo in his shell and he uses remedy.
And Nikki is also over to the Kenazo fight there. It looks like Netara's having a little bit of problem just kind of busting through that last little bit of hit points. What is it, 25% when he ducks into his shell there?
Yeah, I think so. I do notice that she is continuing to use lit, which unfortunately is not going to do the damage bonus that she would get if she happened to use ice. And I think that she may not know exactly that he is weak to ice outside of the water being up. And Netara's through.
Yep, got a good roll there, so everything's fine.
And there, as I was mentioning earlier, you saw Palom learn Ice too, which will be very helpful in the upcoming battles.
And it looks like we got a tower key, which is nice to have, but not exactly useful at the current moment. So we're off hunting for our underground access and other things at other places now.
And you saw Nikki there use a blizzard. That is actually a J-specific item. It has this cool little ice stalagmite animation. But the thing is, it's HP value based. So it's based on your current HP value, and it kind of like basically does around half. So using Edward there, it was only about 30 base damage, but since Kainazo is weak to ice in that current form, it did double damage. It looks like Netara is going to go check out Hobbs. Let's see if she decides to try and push through it with the twin slot. The thing with the twins is twin uses the highest number slotted characters. I think it's wisdom for black. It's the black magic ability. I can't remember if it's wisdom or willpower.
Yeah, that is wisdom there.
Okay. So it uses the top slotted. Not the top, but the highest slotted twins wisdom magic to determine the spell power of whatever they cast. So in this situation, it's going to use Palom because Palom is in the number 2 slot. The way that the slots are based in Final Fantasy IV is the middle is slot 1, the second slot is the top slot, the third one is the bottom, and then the fourth one is top middle, and then the fifth one is bottom middle. And Supremacy, that is a good question. I don't know why they're not using Twin. Twin would be very valuable here, especially even Flare or Comet, it really wouldn't matter. It would knock them out really quick.
Speaking of Comet, Nikki has ran over to Fabul Castle, did pick up a Stardust in there, maybe running to go toss that Stardust at Mylon there. That is a Japanese-only item that simulates the Comet spell that the twins can also use.
And see Netara continuing to use Bluff, which is actually really good, especially if she decides to twin. And she's still using Fire 1, even though she has Ice 2 also.
Now, I don't know if Mylon carries his Fire weakness in this form. Or
Mylon doesn't have it. Mylon doesn't have any weakness in his base form.
Okay. Yep, Nikki's coming over to take another shot over here at Hobbs then.
So the thing with Stardust is it... I don't know exactly how to describe it, but what it does is it casts Comet, but it also it sets a base damage, and it does that for anybody that uses it. It doesn't use anything off. It doesn't base off your wisdom or your willpower or anything like that. It's actually just a set value that it uses. So you'll see it do about 700 or so here, which is substantially a lot more. Oh, very high roll on that twin flare there. Very good. They're both through. Awesome. Really, really good fights on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
So you see everybody kind of getting the same amount, a very high of experience versus vanilla. What happens with the X flag? It's for the experience flag. I believe it's set X2 on here.
Yes, I believe that's the case.
It is X2. So what that is experience is actually not split. It is completely shared. So everybody gets the same experience value as the original monster is. So if a monster has, say, 1,500 experience drop, you get 1,500 experience for each person, instead of like in vanilla, it splits up each way for how many people you have alive. And with X2 is, once we get 10 key items, it actually doubles our experience. And there's a little kind of like unique feature with X2 is if anybody is, I think it's 10 levels below the mean level value of your party, they get 3 times experience.
It does require you to have a 5-person party for that, but yeah, that is pretty much exactly what it does there.
I always forget the 5-person party part.
Looks like we're still hunting for that bow to fire off all those good arrows there.
Hey, they got a really good set of arrows: Medusa arrows, poison arrows, Artemis. I think I saw mute arrows too, but I may be wrong.
Yeah, I'm forgetting my flags here. I'm like, well, why don't they go check that weapon shop? But we're still running on S5, so I do not believe cabins can shoot arrows, which is a problem.
Well, I mean, not with that attitude, but but yeah, cabins are. I think anybody really needs maybe 30 cabins for the worst situation for the whole run, and it's they're relatively cheap compared to other items and stuff like that. But in here, all our GP is just going to go to buying cabins anyways.
Cabins and Cecil's Trust Fund. We look like we have Dr. Luge coming up here at Fable Castle, which isn't too awfully bad here.
It's actually, I was gonna say, it's actually really good because it's the HP value is going to be 3 ways instead of just 2 or 1, because there's the third phase of the third form of Dr. Luge as well.
Yeah, it's going to cut down a little bit on their XP at the end of it, but yeah, twin is definitely enough. And now, oh wow, I believe Nicky just got a 1 out of 256 roll on that twin fail.
Yeah, that's unfortunate fail there. Anytime you see the twins go forward, see fail. That's definitely a 1 in 256. Usually, if they go forward and come back, they're out of magic, or one of them's out of magic or something like that.
Yeah, Palom's still got all those tier 2s. I mean, you do get a full heal actually when you accept the offer to defend Fable Castle, so they should have plenty of MP to go here.
And you get a full heal afterwards as well, which is really good. So I believe each one of these bosses is going to have probably about close to 400 or 500 HP, since I think Fabul has around 1550-ish HP wise if you combine it all to one.
Just gotta watch out, make sure we don't need too many of those sleep counters on the people who need to stay awake, which is basically everybody who isn't Edward.
Yeah. A good strategy for this fight actually is if it happens to be here and you have the prisoner robes. Prisoner robes actually prevent sleep, which is a really good strategy, especially if you're only rocking physical attackers.
Yeah, I believe you can also wait for the poison, because I think once you're poisoned, the way the status works in this game is I don't think poison lets you take any other status, good or bad.
I can't really remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I know it blocks Berserk, which is the big thing. So.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, the crystal armlet from Fabul. That's really good, a piece of equipment. It's the strongest armlet that you can actually get, but it also adds +5 to agility, and we all know how agility works. Makes you fast, and the faster we are, the faster we're gonna be able to kind of knock out some bosses. So Netara having Porum in the middle there is actually causing really low rolls because she's in the number 1 slot. So that's using her wisdom stat instead of Palom's. Looks like Nicky's just kind of selling off some stuff to get some cabins. 30 cabins, she'll have enough for the rest of the run.
It's always kind of weird on seeds like this, where usually I'm running around, I'm thinking, okay, hey, this is worth money. I need to keep this to sell it off. I need to finance my run here, and just remembering, oh wait, it's all cabins. I need to be throwing this stuff out yesterday.
I'm sure you'll see a lot of the R to discard little trick. If not, with me, I really don't use R. I just double tap my trash can and empty it out if I'm in a seed where it's like S5 or something. A really good pickup in Silvera there, a Grimoire. What it does is if you use it in battle, it summons a random summon. has a higher chance for the lower summons, but if you get lucky, or you can also save scum it, you can get Bahamut, you can get Leviathan, which will clear out most of these bosses early game anyways, since Bahamut and Leviathan are the two strongest ones.
We did, as Deb pointed out, we did just nab a bow finally. We got an archer bow, so we can actually use a lot of this ammunition we've been picking up here finally, up on our deals.
Ooh, gold apple. Gold apples are really good. Any of the apples in this game, whether it's the silver or gold, which is AG and AU respectively, adds the silvers add 50 HP to your max value, and then the golds add 100 to your max value, which can be very helpful, especially if you're, just barely dying to a boss with only like 80 HP left or something. You can get that extra boost that you need, and it looks like we have Mylon Z in the Mylon spot.
Yeah, we got some French vanilla here, but that flare is going to actually do really well with that fire damage against Mylon Z, so Swin or Fire 2 should take him out in short order.
Absolutely. Could also just use Fire 2 as well with a couple bluffs, and it should just take him out really quick.
Well, we're just really hoping for Yang just to show us the kicker around the world.
Absolutely. Or an Odin back attack would be really rough, but Odin's another one that is an interesting attack, is an interesting encounter to get in the Mylon Z spot.
I do not think I've ever actually seen Odin in the Mylon Z spot, or I don't think I've let him get off Zantetsuken for it, so...
It's not fun. And then 1700 Fire 2. As we all know, Mylon Z weak to fire. This is why you should usually use a bluff stack, and then use Fire 2 if you happen to have it or something like that. It's actually a legitimate strat in vanilla. In the vanilla speedrun, is getting Palom to learn Fire 2 during the Mylon fight, and then having Fire 2 use against Mylon Z.
Yeah, that's pretty normal as opposed to vanilla. It's about the basic way you kill him. Looks like we got Dark Elf.
Ooh, awesome. So it's if they happen to have a coffin or an hourglass or something that kind of like can do anything to a non-boss, once Dark Elf changes, Dark Elf actually loses his boss flag.
I don't know if we have any of those, but we did see them pick up Artemis arrows, and he does pick up a dragon flag, actually, on the second half as well.
Very good point. But that is actually some really good knowledge to have if you are unsure of how to take care of Dark Elf in a certain situation. If you can get enough damage to force that change, you can use weak, you can use instant death, you can use stop. This is N1 supremacy, but you can use stop, anything like that, because Dark Elf actually loses the boss flag once he shifts, unless N2 happens to be on, and then every single boss has a boss flag, so you can't abuse a situation like that. And these are Catalyte flag supremacy, but they have been modified a little bit. So our current flags, I will read off, are J2, K2, P2. So a pass is going. There are 3 passes randomly placed throughout any of the chests with P2. C1, which makes Edge and Fusoya harder to find and randomizes the characters. T3, S5, B, F2, N, E3, X2, Y2, G, W2, and Z. So they're the basic Catalyte flags, but they've been modified a little bit, which is pretty good. I like. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, just to clarify on the P there, I do believe those passes have to be sitting either on the overworld or the underground. I do not believe they can appear on the moon.
You would be correct.
Netara is the first one to force the chain, and now Edward's doing a little bit better damage with those Artemis arrows there.
Another strategy you could use is in the dragon form, the dragon also can use weak, I think. Or is it the regular? I can't remember.
I believe it's the regular form.
Okay, it's the regular
that has
form.
weak there, so I think I know where you're going with that. There.
Yeah, I was gonna say weak is actually reflectable, so that can be useful in certain situations to where, I'm not sure exactly like what boss would do it, but you can reflect weak off of yourself if you can't happen to hit the boss because they have wall or something like that.
I think Nikki might have a little more strength on her Edward. She's the first one through, and Netara just finished up as well, looks like. So the good news about this is if we run into Cecil later in the seed now, he will have his paladin status as well as Tella getting his spell book completely filled out as well.
Yeah, it looked like Netara was getting a little bit low. Nikki was getting like what, 800-900s there.
We got Darkness Crystal coming up there. So I'm going to guess both of them are probably going to summon the whale just to grab another character off the moon after they finish up here, because Antlion with only 1,000 HP is not going to be a real big threat here.
Yeah, definitely a pushover. Even I think the counter is relatively weak as well, so physical attacks, while they're maybe a little bit slower, will do the counter's not going to do a whole bunch. Oh, a miss too as well. Okay, yeah. So Netara getting a miss with the Artemis arrows, which could have been prevented by having Edward in the middle. But the issue here is Edward's probably got higher agility than everybody in the party currently, and having Edward in the middle, the way it works in this game, if you don't have Cecil in your party, Edward is actually your what's called agility anchor. The way bosses and enemies work in this game is it looks for either Cecil or your center character, and it looks at their agility and kind of bases everybody else's base agility off of that. I know that's a really vague explanation, and it's not really fully understood, right? Like exactly how it all works. But usually, the slower your agility anchor is, the slower the boss is going to be.
We never had to worry about it in vanilla because Cecil was always there to lord over it.
Absolutely. You never not have Cecil in your party.
So our runners are staying together pretty well. I'm kind of waiting to see if we're going to have any kind of major divergence here. Really, all we do have is Baron in at the moment in terms of progression, because I don't think either of them is going to be really, other than checking the character in the shop, none of them really going to be heading deep into the moon here.
Yeah. The moon is definitely a good place to go right now. It's a free character, it's a free in quotation marks character, but the thing is, it can be Edge or Fusoya because it is locked behind a key item. Especially with C1 being on, it makes Edge and Fusoya harder to find. So usually you'll find them behind like Baronin or behind the hook in the Eblon Cave or something like that. So hopefully we find somebody that can be a little bit more damage outputting than the current party we have, like Fu or Edge or Yang would be a good find. Really, anybody.
Really, anybody. We're just really hoping we don't find the one clone, because then what we have, we're doing no free lunch one here, is there are 12 total characters and 13 total recruitment spots, so there is going to be one clone out there, and we're just really hoping for that not to be the case here.
And even if it is, the current status of the party is actually relatively good, since we have the twins and they've gained a fair amount of levels. I think Palom's really close to learning Virus if he hasn't learned it already. And Virus is a real big game changer just because of the damage output.
Oh, absolutely. That'll be more than enough to get him through Baron unless there's something really silly behind there. And I don't think Dark Knight Cecil can gate underground access, so I think that's one of the worst Baron bosses I've hit. But it looks like they're going to get Fusaya, so
All right.
definitely an upgrade coming up here.
So this is actually really good news. Since we do have F2 on, what happens is Fusuya gains 100 HP and unlocks 3 spells per battle. So you see Nikki checking spells there, and doesn't have a lot of black magic. So we may see Nikki go take on the Mist Dragon spot or the Octomammoth spot, just to take a chance at maybe trying to get like Nuke or Virus or Quake or something like that to make the Baron in fight a little bit more easier.
Yeah, I did see Cure 3. I did not see White, and White would have worked as well. But yeah, definitely front-loaded on White Magic a bunch here.
Yeah, the major issue with White is that the cast time is just so long, and if you happen to get like a boss that can two-shot Fusoya at the Baron Inn, then you kind of risk pushing it to with that cast time. It looks like Nikki's going to go take on Octomammoth, and Natara's going to go right for the Baron Inn, which is 2 really good plays, to be honest. I like Natara's play, showing that she's not scared to take on. Ooh, and we have Plague.
Ooh, that's gonna be a little bit rough. I believe Octomammoth has about 3,000 hit points there, so 10 seconds with not a lot of great options. You might fire off. Yep, firing off that Grimoire. See if we get lucky here. Mist Dragon.
The good thing about Plague is he's weak to arrows. So
yeah, that did a lot more than I figured it was going to do there.
Yeah, the Mist Dragon from Grimoire is actually a base power. It's not actually HP based like Rydia's, like when Rydia casts it.
Right.
But it's going to be really, I was going to say, it's going to be really close, because that was a fair amount of. She may try and save scum that Grimoire. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I in my head I saw about 2,000 damage come through there, so any better of a Grimoire roll, and she's got this.
Absolutely. So we'll see Netara get through here with a problem. She'll probably just straight up attack Bahamut. It's only got like 400 HP, and Bahamut just sits there for 5 seconds. And it would be a really quick fight, especially if Edward has the Artemis arrows on still. Alright, yeah, one more quick attack and it should be over. Alright, so it looks like Nikki's... Did Nikki get through?
No, she drew Chocobo on the next roll and decided to pass it up there.
Oh, Water Hag, that's a free fight right here.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely free.
Just three attacks on Water Hag and it's over. Unless the N2, we have dolls on Natara's side.
Fu did pick up Fire 2 for the next boss there, so that'll help.
Yeah. Twin would actually be a good option here. And really, I honestly, I think Twin is the better option here. Actually, instead, because she still has Porum in the middle, so it's going to be a little slow. Oh, she still has Stardust, though.
Yeah, I believe so as well, just because I think Twin doesn't split damage so hard, and I know going 5-6 ways, your Fire 2s and your Viruses are gonna... We might see a big doll coming out here.
Yeah, Flare still splits, actually, but Comet does not. So it looks like we got HP ran out on the bottom, so we may see... we may not see a big doll here.
Oh, always nice to see Virus kill.
Oh yeah. HP ran out's like one of my favorite text boxes to see. Alright, so Natara's through. Let's see what key item we get. Ooh.
We got a hook, but we also got Nuke.
Yeah, Nuke. And Kane. Unfortunately, Nikki's still trying to get through Plague over here. But if she gets through Plague, she'll have Nuke for the Baron Inn fights. And yeah, Natara's actually been rough. She knows what it's going to take to get through these.
Oh, absolutely. And Tara's done quite a
And
few of these, so...
and
Oh, we
we
got
see
Leviathan.
Leviathan.
That'll do it.
Absolutely. The Octo spot only has 2,000 HP, or is it? I think it's 2,100, somewhere around there. But it's relatively low. Oh, and heroin robes past Octo. That is actually really good for Nikki.
That Ogreax will be a good fit for Kane as well there, so definitely some... Oh, Sorcerer Robe too. Good stuff back there in the back of Waterway here.
Yeah, that really good play by Nikki there, actually. Got some awesome items, and now she's probably going to go take on the Baron Inn, snag Kane. Got some good equipment for Kane as well. It's shaping up to look like a really interesting hook seed. It looks like maybe Netara is going to dip in the Eblon Castle.
It definitely looks that way. I don't know if she's gonna take another look at Fusoya and say, well, maybe I should hit a few more things. Yeah, Hook Seed, you definitely want to take about as many... Oh, we do have 2 Rune Axes in the inventory as well, so definitely good options for Kane sitting in there.
And the Dragoon equipment that Netara is actually putting on Kane right now actually does half damage for all elements. But unfortunately, she put the fire armor on. So the way the elemental armor shields or whatever work in this game is it has a resistance to the opposite of what it is. So like the fire armor has a resistance to ice. But unfortunately, it does you take 2 times the damage of that element. So if Netara happens to run into, say, a vanilla ruby, then fortunately Kane is going to be ultra weak to whatever happens with Ruby or anybody that casts fire or flame or anything like that.
Yep, first chest in the Cave Eblin is one of the 3 passes, so Netara has found a pass right now.
So we are halfway to go mode. Opening chests in the Eblon Cave can be kind of risky if you didn't save outside, because there is 1 trap chest in here. The good thing about this trap chest is they have stale men, but if you happen to get through, the trap chest actually pull from the ultra rare item pool, so we could find an adamant armor in here if we run into my words aren't coming to me right now.
I know. Real quick here, while you're doing that, we did get a thing in chat saying, could we go over the cursed ring with elemental stuff? The big thing with the cursed ring is, while it does have a fairly major stat reduction, if you do pair it with things that give you resistances, such as the Dragoon armor there, it will turn those resistances into absorptions. So it will actually give you practical immunity to those type of elemental attacks.
So like that can be a really good strategy for certain bosses like Ruby. If you happen to run into Ruby, throw on Dragoon armor and a cursed ring, and then if you happen to have a moon veil as well, you're basically just gonna breeze through that fight because you're immortal, pretty much. Because you're gonna absorb all elements, and a moon veil is actually gonna stop you from receiving any damage.
Yeah, the one good thing, I did see an Elven Bow come down, and it's a slightly better bow than the Archer, but the big thing about the Elven Bow is it's kind of one I'd like to throw on Rosa, because it does have a little hidden +3 willpower also attached to it, which is, for anything to jump my healing ability while I'm using a bow, that's kind of like where I like to go if I don't have a Samurai or a Artemis bow sitting around here, but it doesn't look like any of them have hit that stale man chest. So we've got Tella. Ooh, and that's Baigen going to be in the Rubicon slot. We saw that last night.
Yeah, we did. Tella is actually a really decent spot here, because we already have his spells unlocked. We did ordeals. We have sorcerer robes and stuff like that to put on him. So Tella's actually going to be somewhat decent here. He's going to have virus. The bad thing about Tella is he doesn't have Quake. That's like the only really unfortunate thing right now about Tella.
But we do see our first of likely 2 very fast Edward kicks here.
But I don't see Baigan being too much of an issue, especially with Fu. The only unfortunate thing is that once you do cast a spell on Baigan on the body, he does cast Wall on himself. So you'd have to wait until that wall ran out, and he's a very hard hitter physically.
Yeah, I have not seen a Quake out of Fu. Nicky does have a slightly more advanced Fusoya, but I have not seen Quake come out. I believe we're seeing... Oh, there's the Staleman chest. But I believe Palom is a few levels away from getting Quake himself, and actually that'll be really valuable, because that'll actually just keep dropping the arms and making Baigan waste his turns regenerating those arms as you wind up another Quake.
Absolutely. I do see in chat that the only bad thing about Tella is that he's Tella. Tella is actually quite useful. I know a lot of people don't like to hear it. They're like, "Oh, Tella this, Tella sucks. Don't get Tella." Tella's actually really useful, especially if you know how to utilize him.
Oh, absolutely. I'm part of the, I will toss Tella first, because I am part of those that generally dislike him, but even I say he does have his uses in there, and right now he is definitely a far superior choice to Edward right here. Only a Slumber Sword. The big thing about the trap chests here, definitely they're worth going after, because what they can do, because we are in the T3 set of flags, but any of the trap chests can draw from the highest tier of items, so you could see Crystal Swords, Adamant Armors, anything like that come out of these trapped chests. So they're definitely worth taking a peek at if you run across them.
I did notice that Palom got hit on Netara's side for exactly his HP amount, and that
You didn't want to see that, because definitely about that level 19. I would definitely, if I were either one of them right now, I would definitely want to run into that Baigan fight with at least one source of Quake. But definitely at least that. Now the good news is there is one more trap chest, and one of the big things that's great that we have Tella and Fusoya sitting around, because of that Mad Ogre chest coming up in the in Upper Babil here. Those Mad Ogres are weak to Hourglasses and other statuses like Size, which will make that fight very easy, and Netara just hit it right first chest right there, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, speak of the devil. The unfortunate thing about Mad Ogres is their mag defense is extraordinarily high. If anybody actually happens to be worried about levels, there is actually a floor in here that you can grind on. So I think it's the third floor that you get to. There is actually a summoner, or I don't know their actual names, but there's an actual thing here that calls things, and if you keep killing that monster over and over, you'll keep getting that XP over and over. And if you can time it right, you'll never receive any damage. So if you need to do like a little mini grind before you fight the Rubicon spot or the King and Queen Eblon spot, feel free to turn on encounters and kind of walk over here. The Marion and Puppets is actually in Zot Wells. This is a different one. I don't know the actual name of it's on the floor that Nicky's on right now, but I don't know the actual name of the monster. So if you do need to grind somewhere, if you're not comfortable with your levels, this is a perfectly great place to do it.
I think it's Conjure, and looks like Nicky did skip that first chest. I see her looting other things here, but definitely dodged the Mad Ogre chest, and we see actually Netara is using Nuke to good effect to pick them off one at a time up there, so especially if she can get like 1 or 2 good Rune X swings with Kain there, she should be fine.
Yeah. She may be trying... I don't know if she had gotten any actual life glitches off or not, but that would actually be a good strategy right now for somebody to try and do to get a little bit more levels, because HP wise it's looking really rough right now, especially for Netara.
Yeah, Nikki is the first one to the two bosses here. It looks like we're running into Leviathan, which isn't too bad because we're not going to see that physical attack that this spot is kind of known for, because this spot will hit you very hard there, but we're just going to see low power ice 2s come out of him here, so that's pretty much a gimme.
A quick, easy, breezy one nuke through the fight. The big issue, I'm worried about them being under leveled, but Fusuya did just learn Meteo, so that could be very useful. And I think they have a Soma drop as well, so that's 2 Meteos if they do end up having a Soma drop.
Yeah, one thing Fusoya could also do, and I had to run this once on a Kata seed I ran through here. Fusoya might have Psych by this chance, so in a pinch he could just steal somebody else's MP and
exactly.
fire off another one there.
Especially one of the twins, because their MP is probably substantially higher than everyone. Oof. Yeah, this is going to be a rough fight. So you see Nikki throw on the ice rod there. I think the ice rod only adds +1 to wisdom, so it really doesn't add too much. The rods that you're looking for is looking for the charm rod or the stardust rod or the change rod or
Speaking of a stardust rod, that is exactly what Netara just pulled out of that battle over chest.
That is huge. Stardust rod is the best rod in the game. You can use it in battle for the stardust item command, and it adds +15 to wisdom, which is just insane. It's substantially more damage output. So that is a great find for Netara.
Oh, absolutely. That's gonna make. It's definitely gonna make. I don't know if her Palom. I was not watching to see if Palom hit Quake levels just yet, but it should be at this point just maybe like one fight here. Should if he doesn't have already, should just put him over here. That's it's winding up Meteo there.
Yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be a rough, especially with only Fu alive right now.
Yeah, he's done probably about 15,000, or she's done about 15,000 the main body here. Doesn't have enough for another Meteo. I don't see a Soma drop use here. What I'm seeing here, I don't know if they've actually picked up any MP restoratives either.
I haven't seen any ethers or anything, unfortunately, which is not good. And she's probably gonna end up taking an ice 3 to the face, hitting that wall, or just die due to getting attacked. Yeah. The crystal armlet would be really, really good to have on Palom or Fusuya right now. I'm not sure exactly who has it on.
Yeah, we got Palom. We got Palom 2 levels short of Quake over on Natara's side there. But it looks like Nikki's backing out for something here.
I think she may go check that chest, because I'm sure she's looking for a level or something to be able to do a tiny bit more damage. I'm not really sure. But I do think having that Stardust Rod is going to make Netara have a much easier time in getting through Baigen.
Oh, absolutely! There, even just the Comet cast that'll start taking the arms apart for you.
Oh,
too.
Yeah. So Netara is saving, rightfully so. Is always a smart idea, especially with this randomizer, because you never know what you're going to get, and it's super important for you to make sure you save often, because if you don't and you forget, you can lose a lot of time just to missing it. Yeah, this is unfortunately going to be a really, really rough fight. Fu does have more boss knockouts on Nicky's side, so the advantage there is Nicky has some more levels. I'm thinking Nicky's going to back out, go maybe try and find that chest, hope for something. And Wells does have a good point. Nicky still has a moon veil, but I think she's looking at everybody else's HP going, I think I need some more levels. But finding the Stardust Rod will be huge.
Yeah, I could see maybe throwing that moon veil onto Kane, but even with that ice brand, it's still not really that's a lot of HP to choose through still. So definitely, that chest would be great to hit right now.
All right,
that's exactly what she's going for. Yep.
All right, so let's see how Netara fares against Baigen here. I feel she's better, but it's still going to be a really tough fight, especially having Fu in the front there. I think it would be smarter to. Oh, Fu's got some equipment on, so not going to take too much damage.
Oh yeah, his starting stuff is endgame worthy right out of the box, so it's definitely not too bad of a.
Yeah, we saw a multi-target virus there from Netara, which, yeah, I get the reasoning behind it, but virus is one of those spells where you're going to want a single target just due to the fact that it does way more damage than trying just to split it. Honestly, I think I'd go. I forgot. Fu's not going to have Meteor for Netara because she had not taken out those two other bosses earlier.
Ooh, that's actually a pretty big thing. Speaking of Meteor, that's what Nicky just used to clear out those ogres right fast, and it looks like she's backing out maybe the Eblin Castle?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Either Eblon Castle or maybe she'll go hit up Zot and try and clear out another boss. I'm not really sure. But this is definitely not an easy to be in for any runner. I mean, sitting here, I can say, oh, you can do this and try and get through it this way. In the end, it's still going to come down to this is not easy. Baigen and Ruby is not an easy slot.
Oh, not at all. Probably one of the worst. Other than like Valvalis or Asura, Baigen's right up there with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like Natara's strat of using the Stardust Rod over and over. And she's also going to bounce off some nukes off her own party because she gets the wall from Baigen. And it reflects and hits Baigen's main body, which is even better. Now we just need to try and keep up on the healing, which is really rough, especially since Fu is the main damage dealer, and he's also got the most MP. It's just a rough, sticky situation to be in.
Absolutely, and we actually have Nicky taking a trip to the moon here.
Wow.
We're in the cave Bahamut here. I don't mind this play here. We actually discussed it a little bit earlier this morning. Always good to see it kind of pan out a little bit here. Definitely, at least maybe treasures have not been too great, but maybe getting something free like King Queen Eblin on the Bahamut slot could actually do something here.
Oh, exactly. Just even getting a peek at who's here. CPU. Ooh. That's not a fun one there. Because Bahamut's got 34,000?
Yeah, roughly around that. It'd take him quite a while, and Nicky wants no part of that, it looks like.
That is anything but free. Like I said, this is a rough situation. I think she's going to go dip in the subterrane and maybe see if there's a free boss somewhere, but...
Actually, does Fusoya have stone?
Uh, Fu. I'm not sure. I think I saw stone, but I may be wrong. I mean, not necessarily supremacy. If CPU is extraordinarily fast, and you take out the defender, the attacker is still gonna mazer you over and over again. So it looks like Netara had a reset.
Took a reset. Yep.
She forgot to save between. So she's gonna have to go through Leviathan again. No, Tella gets stone.
Oh, Tella does have stone. That's a good point, actually.
The only problem with that is Tella's MP count. It's just so low. All right, let's see who's impaled them spot. And Natara's going through Leviathan again. It's always a good idea to save between bosses here. Ooh, an Ogo. That's.
Oh my.
Oh man. These are not easy boss locations. Oh wow, this is not an easy seed. I mean, even as like an experienced runner myself, this would not be a fun seed for me.
Oh no, and run into that blaze counter as well after that nuke there. It does not look good for that, and we do see a reset coming out there.
Yeah, I think the major issue right now is just party composition. You have 4 mages and 1 attacker, and we're still low leveled. So Natara's going back and saving, which is a good idea. But I do think that in a little bit after, if we happen to see more wipes here and there, I think we'll go see somebody turn off their experience and or turn off their encounters. And don't forget, we can go D machine grind. We have the darkness. We have darkness crystal. We have a source of weak. We have, I think, 2 sources a week. And I mean, if you know how to do it, you can go snag some levels really quick, and that will make Baigen so much easier.
So we got the Triple Karian Warlock encounter out of a moon chest here. Tella's firing up the meteor. It's going to take him a little while, but if the twins can survive this,
even if they can get Kane back up, because just the cast itself takes so long for Meteo, but Kane gets smacked again, unfortunately. Alright, so Twin survive, which is really good. That's a lot of experience. And possibly a great item as well.
56,000 experience. There's Quake, there's Drain. I was thinking he might have got a tier 3 out of that too. Not enough for that, but
ooh.
And a Rune Ring, which is pretty good.
Very good. That's going to go right on Porum. Make it able for her to survive a little bit more and get have a white mage instead of just having to rely on Tella. So are we going to see her I'll probably see her use a cabin or something, which if you want, you can actually save a cabin by boarding your airship, going and napping, and just running right back out. But I'm curious to see if she's going to go back down, or if she's going to go to Baigen. And Supremacy says, yeah, it is a very gutsy call to open chest on the moon, because there are some really rough bosses here that will just destroy you in the chests.
Oh yeah, anything like you said, the 2 red dragons, but anything containing a dragon, Behemoth would be murder right now with that magic part, with this magic focus party. Yeah, that's paid off really well, but definitely a huge risk in opening those.
Yeah, looks like Netara is still having some issues with Baigen. It's another reset there. I wonder if we'll see her same play that Nicky's doing, or if we'll see her continue to try and push through. Oh, she's gonna grind. Very smart.
On, yep.
If she goes back a floor, she'll actually be able to run into the Conjurer or whatever it is. I always like those encounters for grinding, because you don't have to find an encounter over and over and over again, it just keeps bringing them, keeps calling them to you. Ooh, eggs. It's really good to...
Speaking of behemoths.
The green dragons in here that are hiding behind the eggs don't give a lot of experience, but you also don't know which monster you're getting in the egg. Unlike when we use sirens to grind underground, we know exactly what we're getting in the egg when we use the siren. Here you don't know what you're getting, so you don't know whether your experience is going to be 2,000 or like 6,000. So it all just depends. Like I was saying earlier with the virus, you want to see single targets instead of multi targets, and try and take out one monster at a time. It looks like Nicky's doing really good as well, trying to punch through this behemoth, but it just hits so hard. Yeah, Supremacy, I agree. I think the dip into Eblon Castle would be a very, very good play right now instead of dipping through the moon, especially since Nicky has already got through one chest on the moon and snagged a few more levels.
Oh yeah, with that one trap chest win there, I believe Nicky is actually more than ready to actually go through and take out Baigen right now.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like she's gonna go maybe back through the other, try and take out the hairdryer chest. See if, because that's some good experience as well, and another item to grab.
Oh yeah, that's 30,000 for everybody that survives it, and yeah, I do like the lunar hairdryer chest play here. I love hitting this thing anytime on an early moon because it's not too dangerous, but I mean,
it could still hurt, as we're seeing. I think keeping Kane alive would be one of the best options for Nicky right now if she can.
Oh, absolutely. We could definitely use a fighter with a little more. Oh, down goes Borom.
This is it's gonna be rough, and they don't have life potions because S5.
I did see actually one life potion in a box. We took a reset there. We do actually have. I did look at Netara. It does have Palom at level 23, so we do have Quake as an option now.
Yeah, that is especially with the Stardust Rod, and if she has the right gear on Palom, like a Gaia helm or sword, that would greatly increase the damage output as well. And this fight should go exponentially better now that Netara has Quake. So it looks like Nicky wiped in that fight.
Took a reset. I think definitely wanted to, stuck Kane in the back row, so definitely wanted Kane to get some experience here, which I do not blame her on that one. That's
good. That's smart. Because it gets the Quake off to try and reduce the damage output. I'm pretty sure that this Quake will go off before Meteo. Oh, okay. Alright, well, Nicky's through. Let's see what item we get, and Kane should gain quite a few levels here. 14, yeah.
Just a few.
Just the Dancing Dagger. Yeah, that's definitely great that... I think Nicky's gonna be ready to head back down to Baigen now. That was a really smart play for her to go to the moon instead of just forcing over and over and over a Baigen fight. That's gonna be rough.
I do think having a much easier time with Palom just firing off all those Quakes right now, so we should see them both get through in short order here.
Yeah, exactly. I do think Netara has a slight advantage right now since she didn't go up. Oh, Nicky's staying on the moon. It's interesting. But I do think Netara has a slight advantage right now due to the fact that she's doing her best to punch through Baigen, and I think it's going to pay off. Especially since we get underground. If she finds sirens underground, or never mind, if she finds a couple sirens in a chest or something, that's still really good experience for the whole party.
Yeah, one thing I just saw on Natara's screen there is if you do fire up Quake and the arms aren't up yet, it will not smart target and find the arms again here. So.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but it's still damage output though, which is good. And we get a
good reflect on that nuke.
Yep, just gonna say that.
So Nikki is avoiding the chests on her way down, so we're going to see the identity of a few of these lower subterranean bosses as well. And I think looking at Palom's MP, that's the last Quake he's going to have, unless we have some drain-type shenanigans here. But that does imply, or at least should imply, yep, there he goes. Netara is through. Oh my, Nikki running into, I think we lost Couch for a second here, but Nikki running into another very painful moon boss there. Vivalis is definitely, well, you really don't want to see her about anywhere, but that is, yeah, that's exactly Supremacy. That is Yuck personified right there. Even with Kane, this is very, yeah, she hits very hard. She's extremely fast. It's a bad time all around. And I believe the Plague slot still has a good over 25 to 30,000 hit points there. So it's not going to be a fast kill by any stretch of the imagination. That was a surprisingly good 8,000 point nuke, and we see Netara jumping right to the Cave of Summoned Monsters. I think we got Couch back here.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
So the Land of Summoned Monsters with K2 is going to have 3 key items. Three chances for a key item. One in the main chest where you get the rat tail and vanilla. And then one behind each of the summon bosses in the Leviathan and Ashura spots. The thing about the cave is, you see the little different colored tiles, is those are actually damage tiles, and if you walk on them, they hurt you. But if you use float, you can just walk right over them, they don't do any damage. Unfortunately, you have to refloat each floor.
Well done, Nikki, taking out that Plague Valvalis, getting weak, quick virus, and an adamant armor for her trouble. Very awesome pull there.
That is huge. That is a huge pull. This could be the advantage that Nikki needs, especially if the crystal happens to be on the moon. Because if she finds a crystal up here, all she has to do is grind. She has a pass. She'll have the crystal. The team's a little iffy. Maybe she'd try and go to like, she's gonna have no problem with Baigen, but just the fact that she can punch through everything is gonna be really easy, and she smartly throws the adamant armor Kane.
Tar checking boxes did have float on from Fusoya. Gonna see what's in that box in the Cave of Summons here.
So there's only one trap chest in the Cave of Summons, or whatever people call it. I just call it the Cave of Summons. The good thing is you can just cast Quake and get rid of these guys really quick. And And with adamant armor being behind a lunar boss, that means there's still a possibility for an adamant to be in a trap chest.
That, as well as the pink tail, is also still alive as well, so we can see to, possibly, hey, K2 can do this for you, but Nicky should have no problem in living through this, even if it is just Kane right now, because that adamant armor is just going to stop anything Yon can throw at her.
This is D lunar spot, right?
Yes.
Okay. The unfortunate thing is she doesn't have 10 key items, but the good thing is this is a very high experience slot. I see no issues with this fight. Kane should be pretty much invincible in the back row. A physical should do 1, and then a kick should miss. But yeah, this is it's a good chance for 2 possible key items.
Netara has grabbed the package out of the Land of Summon Monsters chest.
And that could actually pay off really, really well, because she could find Edge, she could find Cecil, she could find really any major damage dealer.
Much as we hyped up Tella earlier, I do believe, especially in Natara's case, it may be time for him to go right now with the party as it is.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know. Judging by the party, I'd probably keep Tella just to keep him as an agility anchor for later in the game. Probably end up ditching Porum or Palom, to be honest, just depending on who is behind the package.
It's kind of a hard decision at this point in time. There's that 100,000 XP for Kane, all for him right there.
Ooh, a twin harp and and there's the pink tail. Oh my. That is really, really big for Nicky.
Oh yeah.
We'll see if she decides to leave or if she decides to try the Ogopogo spot. I think it would be really smart of her to try and sneak the Ogopogo.
I believe she has also not checked the Wyvern spot too, so I believe that one is also for grabs as well.
Absolutely. That is, it looks like she's going Ogopogo. So Ogopogo spot is kind of weird. I've seen it hold the Mist Dragon, which has led to the Crystal. I've seen it hold the Crystal. I've seen it just be a straight up dead end. It's one of those weird spots to where you almost don't want to do it because it's so deep, and it's the Fabul Gauntlet, which is going to be rough. But Kane having Adamant should have no issue.
They're going to knock down Tella pretty fast there, though.
But yeah, Kane Adamant Armor and the Fabul Gauntlet, there should be a no issue. Just have him attack, and hopefully your mages can stay alive to do Quake or Nuke or whatever.
We crammed 16 whole people onto that altar.
They're really small people, though. And it looks like we have Dark Imps at Leviathan and King Queen Eblon at Ashura, which is Dark Imps is going to be rough at the Leviathan spot, just due to the high damage output. The really high damage output.
Oh my!
But King Queen Eblon should be a free fight. You just stand there and hope you don't die. I don't see Netara actually getting through this fight.
No, they're one-shotting everything. Those imps are rabid beasts there.
Yeah, the Leviathan spot has really high physics, and it will just straight up... Actually, both those spots have really high physical attack, and they will just straight up destroy you if you come in super unprepared. But the good thing is, King Queen Eblon in the Ashura spot is really free because I believe the magic power is relatively weak there. And if you have like a wall or something up, it's even better.
Oh yeah. Also, we're playing on N1 still. Or are we on N2? I cannot remember.
It's N1, so you can just
Okay.
sit there, let them do their thing. Or another strategy you can do is if the way the script works is if the queen is by herself, she'll go away. She'll die. So you'll see some people just attack the king only and get rid of the king, and then the queen will just die. That's in her script to vanish if the king is not there.
That does seem to be what Netara is going for here, throwing nuke and everything at the king there.
And Nikki's continuing her way through the. Kane got weaked by the gargoyle, which is unfortunate. That's actually in the gargoyle script. If you don't kill him, I think on his second turn he casts weak. But luckily she got Kane some more HP, so it should be good for the rest of the fight.
And there's the heal potion that always drops off of that gargoyle.
So it looks like Netara is just trying to take them both out, which is perfectly fine, and she got through no problem. I'm curious as to see the what comes out of this fight. Because if this is the crystal, I don't know how long it'll take for Nikki to actually get here. Baron key.
Yeah,
That's.
we got fetch quests on both sides now.
See, I like the Baron key idea there because that's 2 possible key items and 3 possible bosses that could hide technically a third a key item being Mistdragon. I love dipping a Baron key in K2 or anything K2 and above just because of the sheer amount of possibilities that are actually there.
Oh, absolutely. And the one thing Natara's really got going for her right now is she has access to so many more character checks at this point. We got Leviathan summon out of the Ogopogo spot. No Rydia seen yet, so...
But she's going to go ahead and take it anyways. I mean, at this point, looking at the party with their levels, Rydia would actually not be a good pickup, in my opinion, just due to all the bosses that Nikki has already fought on the moon. It'd be kind of a waste to pick up Rydia. So
oh yeah, it's too late for her, really, but... and I say this is one of the biggest Rydia apologists in Free Enterprise, too, so...
Yeah. So Nikki's gonna go check out the Wyvern spot, it's looking like, which is another interesting spot that I've seen have Mistdragon blocking the crystal or just having the crystal itself, and people either forget about it or just put it off because, oh, it's Wyvern, it's the Wyvern spot, I don't want to fight it.
I wonder if Ntaro's going to take another shot at those Dark Imps, because one of those chests up there in the Dwarf Towers did have an Hourglass 3 in it, so if you can get that off, those Dark Imps are free after that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think we'll see her dip back down there. I think we'll see her take on the castle here. She'll probably go outside, save, and then come back and do the castle because it's two bosses and a character. That'll finish. I think that'll finish unlocking Fu. Ooh, and we have Odin at Wyvern. That is not an easy fight. But if Kane can actually stay in the air, that would be good. The actual good strategy here would be to use Lit 3 on Odin, since Odin is actually weak to Lit, but Fu's already doing 1800, so it really doesn't matter too much. It looks like it's either the 2 Baron guards or the
Kaipo infight, yeah.
So it's the Baron guards. It looks like.
Oh my! Zantetsuken doing a whole 173 damage to Fusoya.
That was pretty funny. It's and that makes sense because Zantetsuken is a magic attack, and the Wyvern magic slot, the Wyvern spot has a really low magic power. Ooh, the pan. So Nikki is going back underground, or going back through Baigan. But at her current level, she's going to have zero issues getting through it. Especially with 2 adamant armors on the way. So these Baron Guards are actually 4 times weak to magic, to the Rune Axe or the Mute Daggers or whatever, because they are technically classified as mages. So having the Rune Axe on Kane there was a very, very good play.
Netara getting her Quake on Fusoya. I believe Nikki just hit full power on the moon there for Fusoya, so it does have full 1900 there. Oh, hey, look, the other possibility showing up right there with a Sid walking out the door as well.
You know, since Fu actually just unlocked, Netara made the right play by getting rid of Tella there, since Fu just did get weak.
Now, this spot is all menacing and everything because it's Golbez, but Golbez only really has 3,000 hit points here, so as soon as that Quake comes out for Fusoya, this fight's over.
A really good strategy for this fight as well is kill the officer. The soldiers will actually attack and kill themselves. So if you happen to be in like a really, really tough spot and you say have like 1 coffin, don't waste it on one of the soldiers, use it on the officer, and then that breaks the script and allows for the soldiers to actually attack and kill themselves. And
I want to thank straight for that second adamant armor.
Oh, of course. I want to thank Setsuromus for gifting a tier 1 sub to Nitsguy1. Thank you so much. And welcome to the RPG Valkyrie team. Alright, so Nikki's gonna, of course, head back down, destroy Baigan with no issues, and, oh, or not. Where's, oh, is she gonna go do Twin Harp? She had the Twin Harp, or was that Netara that had the Twin Harp?
Twin Harp was on the moon, I believe, so yeah, we're gonna get some music here.
Oh, and a huge pickup for Netara.
Oh my, that's, yes.
Oh my, that
quite literally Kane's best weapon.
That is huge. Very good. And I'm curious as to what the music is going to be. Last night we had Megalovania, which I had actually not heard before. That was really exciting to actually hear it.
I think it was the second time I heard it, but that's such a good piece. I don't mind hearing it about 8 times here.
Absolutely. I'm curious as to where Netara is going to go. I'm hoping she's going to dip Baron. So we know the moon is a bust. Well, it's not a bust yet. Yeah,
we still got Bahamut and Pale Dim slots open there, I believe, but we did get a couple fetch quests out of it. So
yeah, and a Soma drop. That's a very good find. That allows for Nikki to possibly use 4 nukes or 2 Meteos instead of being restricted to 1 Meteo or 3 nukes.
Yeah, if possible, if we could get the audio switched over to Nikki so we can play Name That Tune Final Fantasy IV version here.
And I love Netara's Baron Castle play here. All right. So there's not a lot of chests in the old waterway, as it's called. There's, I think, 9 or 10, somewhere around there. Really, the big appeal is Baron Castle itself. There's a whole bunch of chests in the right tower, all the way to the Odin slot. All right.
Let's see what we got, Edward.
Edward, better not let me down. I've heard Frog's theme way too many times. Thanks, Wells. It's Final Fantasy VI, right?
That is definitely Locke's theme, I believe, out of Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, I barely hear it. It definitely is Final Fantasy VI. Oh, it's Figaro's? Okay.
Oh, but that's Golbez.
Ooh, oh my. This...
The good thing is, there's 2 adamant armors in play there, so Golbez should not really be an issue here.
Yeah, exactly. And the magic attack in this slot is extraordinarily weak. And as you see there, adamant armor already doing its work. You can't get held. If either one of Palom or Kane get targeted, they aren't actually going to be killed. So I'm interested to see who gets hit here. Ooh, 1 miss already. Alright, so Tell is dead. Oh, oh man. What luck there. Only Tell dead. That is amazing. And unfortunately, with Golbez's script, the music gets interrupted here. That's really one issue that I have with Golbez in this slot is if it's a good song, it's interrupted.
And we're about to see Rubicant just get clobbered by an Avenger here.
No big deal. Easy fight. 2 quick swings and it's over. I'm curious as to see if Netara will actually make the Odin play or if she'll wait. I think it depends on who it is. Oh, and the crystal.
We have found no mode on Nikki. It's a moon. It's a mandatory moon trip for the Twin Harp to come back and get crystal. Nikki's saying, "I don't need to go to the underground at all."
So I'm assuming we're gonna see a giant grind here. That was a huge play by Nikki. Netara will probably take quite a while to go there just due to all the fetch quests that she has. But the question is Nikki comfortable with her current team to fight Zeromus? Will we see her go try and sneak underground to try and unlock some more things? I'm genuinely curious as to see if she'll do it. Does she have the Earth Crystal?
No, dude. I don't think anybody's had the Earth Crystal yet. I think she's going to hit the treasury here.
Okay. But that is really huge. I'm just curious as to see if she's gonna try and get another party member, or if she's just gonna try and take on Zeromus with what she's got. I mean, it's completely doable, especially with 2 adamant armors. All you really need is 1 healer and 1 person berserked.
Yeah, she does actually. Plugging that second adamant armor onto Porom would just make it work here. Kane, I believe, has a Blizzard Lance or a Runex still. I mean, totally doable. Tell is kind of going to be an agility anchor and tank the ground pretty much, but we're going to see, and...
Looks like she's going to go grind.
Yeah.
That's I really like this play. It shows the confidence that she has with the Zeromus fight. I really like when people take a whole bunch of mages to Zeromus. It makes me feel warm and cuddly on the inside.
Gotta do something to break up the Berserk monotony, and yep, she's going right for the Giants.
Very awesome. I do like when two players separate their routes, just because it allows us to see more of the seed and what is where and the different strategies that people use for different fights instead of seeing, oh, okay, it's literally just this path and then nobody strays off of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though Nikki is the one who hit go mode first, I actually do like, especially with that Avenger, definitely like Natara's party better, but
Oh yeah.
it just definitely, like I said, it's a required moon dip, and definitely. Yeah. Oh. Nikki turned on encounters well before the save point here, so.
I'm thinking that maybe she thinks that she only leveled, but Mac Giant Grind is actually really good. Because all you need to do is weak them, attack them, and then you're through the fight.
Netara going for the Odin spot, by the way.
Oh, all right. I like this play, especially with Avenger Kane just gonna punch through it relatively quick. And if she does enough damage here, she force the death. So I think if not enough, it was just forced to change. Nikki could try and set up her party order to where she can get a life spell off, but just the fact that she's even going for this is a very good play. And Netara having 0 issues with the elements fight. She should be done like after one more spell, if not this one. And go ahead.
Yeah, finding that Avenger with Kane is going to sweep up so much there that.
Ooh, and Drain Spear. That could, if Netara finds a good Kane weapon, like a White Lance or the Gungear, or however you pronounce it. Sorry, the Pew Pew Spear, as people have stated last night. You can actually solo the Zeromus fight yourself. What you do is you start the fight with the Drain Spear, and then swap it to the Gungear immediately, take an action with that, and then you swap it to the Avenger, and then what happens is the Drain Spear status stays with the weapon, and you just attack Zeromus for however much each time, and you get through. So it looks like we have the Magus Sisters in the Kainazo spot, which is really cool. Should be a really quick, easy fight. Again, Avenger Kane just kind of makes everything super easy.
Wants nothing to do with that Delta attack.
and Sid having the Rune Axe will make this fight even easier. Yeah, Supremacy. You can double swap. I'm not sure exactly how to set it up. Invenerable would be the one to ask about that. So I think what it does is it keeps the Drain Spear effect while you get the secondary items attack, and then you get the Avenger Berserk. And dismissing Yang. Oh, okay. I may be wrong. I may be wrong on that one. I don't know everything about the game.
Yeah, I can totally see that tossing Yang. I have not seen a good claw for him drop at all, and at that point, yeah, I'd probably take a Sid over a Yang there. Really, there's not much left that I'd take a swap for in Natara's position here.
Yeah.
Maybe an Edge if he showed up, but that's about it.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Rosa.
Yeah, a Rosa is always a grab hands down, especially over Porum. But yeah, no, I admit I don't know everything about this game. I'm still learning more and more every day. I am glad to be corrected. So if anybody in chat hears anything wrong that I say, please feel free to correct me. I want to make sure I'm spreading the correct information. I want to make sure I don't spread inaccurate information, because that's how people get mistaken and confused.
Yes. We lived under the shadow of the glass helm throwing out magic weakness. It does not, actually. It has 0 magic defense and 0 magic evade, but it does not actually confer weakness.
Yeah, and a second pass on Netara's side here. So Nicky's still grinding. She's gonna go ahead and weak the Searcher now. I'm curious as to see how much experience points she gets. So she's gonna kill off Tella. Not really sure why. Maybe she's trying to use him as an agility anchor. So that's 390 experience, 390,000 experience. So Mac Giants are okay, but if you do D Machines, I guarantee that would have been a lot higher. The only thing with D Machines is people are kind of intimidated just due to the fact that their fire spell is percentage based, and D Machines are relatively fast. And if you happen to mistime your attack and attack before a week, it can throw you off your whole grind, and you can either die or have to actually run away.
Oh yeah, if you let them get out of control, they will get in your face very quickly.
It looks like Evil Wall is... Where was that?
That was at Super Cannon, I believe.
Okay. So, easy fight. That one's super easy. It's got 600 HP, 598 or something like that. Yeah, I don't anticipate Nicky killing any more bosses either. I just expect to see her grind and then go right to Zeromus. I expect maybe some overgrinding, or she's just gonna leave. Maybe she's comfortable with her levels. Or maybe she's
the counters back on. So
yeah, maybe she's looking for another Mac Giant. Maybe she's not comfortable enough with the D Machine grind. I'm not really sure. Looks like she's not comfortable with D Machine grind, which is completely understandable. D Machine grind is not easy.
It definitely took me a while to get slightly comfortable with it, and even then I think I've got issues with it myself. But yeah, it's definitely not the easiest. We've got Pale Dim up on the top of the tower. That's not really going to be too much of a threat to Netara. She should get through that one pretty easily.
Oh yeah. Again, Avenger Kane gonna make everything much easier. The thing with Avenger is it adds plus 10 to agility, and what's the other stat that it adds to?
I believe I think it's just a plus 10 to physical stats across the board, and minus 10 to wisdom and will.
That's right. So getting that agility boost is even better, and if she threw the if she stacked up Kane's agility, he would just outpace everyone, especially if the crystal armlet, and especially if she goes to the moon and finds adamant. Kane would just be pretty unstoppable.
He's just only half unstoppable right now.
So what Nicky's doing is, anytime that you damage a Searcher, it's gonna alert something. And there's 3 options in the Giant, and it's the Horseman, the D Machine, and the Mac Giant, depending on what floor you're on and other things. So usually what we do is we start off by casting Quake to destroy the 2 beamers, and then it will trigger the alert to call the monster, and then we'll do what Nicky is doing here. And really good setup right now is you cast Weak on what it calls, you attack something with it, and then you get a life off if you can, which she did. And that what happens is, if you cast life on something when it dies, it brings it back. But since all monsters have 0 vitality, it just dies again. So basically, it's like killing 2 of them, and you get 2 times the experience instead of just 1. And Horseman Grind is a very legitimate strat, especially comfortable with D machines.
We did see, we just talked about a glass helm. Of course, Netara finds one on top of the tower there. Did pick up an elixir in a box, would be really good for Fusoya, and we're gonna see a defense sword, which would have been useful had Kay not found an Avenger, but she just tossed it right out the side there. So,
And Netara pondering where to go. I'm really not sure what her play here is. I don't know if she had already dipped Sylph Cave or not to talk to Yang, but I'm pretty sure she's going to try and clear all of the overworld and underworld before going to the moon, because a lot of people don't like going to the moon because the bosses up there can be very, very hard.
I think her only available plays left are, I can't, like I said, I don't remember if she actually talked to Yang either. We do know the Pan's on the moon. But I think the only thing she has left is the Leviathan spot. I think everything else has been checked.
Yeah, this is it's getting to where Natara's going to be like, oh, I have to go to the moon now. And we all know that the moon is the right play. And Nicky taking on the last arm. Relatively easy fight. And she receives Odin, which is pretty much useless.
I would say you could sell it for money, but even that, what are you gonna do? Buy more cabins with it?
Yeah. With Nicky not being comfortable with the D machine grind, I'm curious as to if she'll continue to grind or if she'll go try and take on the element spot. Because that's a fair amount of HP there. But it looks like she's continuing to search for a horseman or something along those lines.
At the very least, I think I saw Palom at 47 there. At the very least, I would see her going to get... I don't know, did Palom actually survive the last grind there? Because I did see everybody a little bit higher, and I was not watching at that point on that side of the screen.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, at the very least, you definitely want to get, like, at least, especially if you're going to run full reflex strats, I'm sure you want to get, Nuke, which is at 52 for Palom.
Yeah. I think a really good play right now would be to probably just focus on Kane and Fusoya and just have them kind of dual team the Zeromas fight themselves. It can be a little rough since Fusoya doesn't have a lot of MP, but if she could find an ether or an elixir or something, it would make the fight a lot better. Ooh. So Netara getting continually annihilated by those dark imps.
It's not so bad because right before everybody did get annihilated, that Hourglass 3 did come out, so it's good. just to pick everybody up and win here now.
You gotta make sure you kill them in time before the Hourglass works. So that can completely shift the battle if they get unstopped.
Kane's working on that one.
Unfortunately, here the HP in that slot is split 3 ways, so they don't. So she only has to kill, like a few, like maybe like 6,000-7,000. I'm not sure what the HP value of Leviathan is.
That's pretty close. I think he's upwards of about 28 to 30,000. Okay. I could bring that up right now, but that's fairly close. But yeah, that's Kane will make short work of roughly 10,000 HP. Now we have everybody up. I'm sure the Quakes will be coming in any time now.
Single nuke is also a good strategy, just to try and take out one in case they do get unstopped. Unfortunately, Nicky not being comfortable with the D machine grind is really rough because It's the fastest way to get experience. Well, maybe not the fastest, but volume-wise, it is definitely important that that we get some experience. And I'm unsure why she's running away from some of the features with the strike firsts. Oh, and we got another fetch quest.
The worst fetch quest in the game, at least in this commentator's opinion.
Yeah, so we'll see if she decides to dip the sealed cave or not, which actually would be a decent idea right now for the experience. But unfortunately, she doesn't have anything to stop the disrupt from happening to people. So we'll see if she decides to go moon or if she decides to go, hey, I'll go sealed cave.
I believe that was the 9th. Let me count. 1, 2, 3. That was that was the 8th key item for Netara. So still a little ways off. Oh no. So
turning in the pan.
Yeah.
Or not turning in the pan, but turning in, telling Sheila that Yang is alive and well, taking a nap.
Pretty sure we haven't seen Spoon, Rat Tail, Legend Sword, or Sand Ruby yet, so it could be any of those.
Oh yeah, it could also just be a regular item. I'm unsure of exactly what we got on the moon. I don't really remember. Oh,
the White Spear. That's a good hit.
That is very good for Avenger glitching. Throw that on Kane before a battle, and then as soon as you get Kane's turn in battle, swap to the Avenger, and you got a higher damage output than just the Avenger by itself. Because what happens is, if you the way the Avenger works is, well, it's not just the Avenger, but the way Berserk works too. If you have a certain item equipped and then you get berserked, it's okay. My brain's not processing everything right now. If you go into battle with an item with a weapon equipped, and you physically berserk them by using a spell, but you happen to change that weapon before they get berserked, it will keep the original weapons stats. So like it'll keep the White Spear's damage, and that's the way it works with the Avenger Sword swapping in battle, is because it automatically sticks. It automatically applies the Berserk, so it keeps the previous weapon's stats. So it'll keep the holy effect from the White Spear, and it will keep the White Spear's damage. And it looks like Netara is going to go Sealed Cave. It's a very bold play, and no, the pan was actually on the moon.
I believe the pan, the Twin Harp, and I want to say, actually that's about it. Because the Twin Harp was what led us to the crystal, and I think the pan was the other. And I don't think, we definitely didn't check the pan because,
yeah,
because Nicky went straight to Cave Magnus, which was the correct play actually. So
yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's a bold play to go to the moon, and sometimes it pays off just like this. She didn't have to force her way through Baigan like Netara did. And it ended up being a quality guess, a quality play for Nicky to go to the moon. Fortunately, Palom gets wiped there by the Disrupt, which having adamant armor or whatever would stop. The good thing about the trapdoors is if you kill the trapdoors by themselves, they only give, I think it's 32,000. But if you kill the monster that turns into afterwards, you actually get more experience.
Yeah, there's 35,000. I would say as soon as Kane gets a few more levels under his belt, there comes a point in time, I know when I do Trapdoor Grinds, where you just get a party that's just good enough to kill the trapdoors before they can even disrupt, and Avenger Kane can get to that point, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Avenger Kane probably a few more levels, maybe like 5 or 6.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It just
The noob
depends
will do it,
on.
though.
Oh yeah, and especially before Disrupt goes off, that's even better. That gets Palom the experience instead of being dead. Or no, Palom was alive last time, but instead of trying to bring them back.
Yeah. Nikki has found another Mac Giant searcher now, so is back to the grind.
And Siren on Natara's side, that'll be good if she finds another key item, so she can, if she runs out of doors and she's not comfortable enough, she can just go pop off that Siren.
I just had a very silly thought, honestly. But I do see Nikki getting the life glitch on, so we're killing double Mac Giants at this point. But I was always wondering, I know Tella can miss life spells on party members. I want to see if Tella can miss a life spell cast on an enemy for the double XP. I'm sure.
Oh,
Why
it
not?
happen.
But
It can happen. There's a lot of the spells can actually weak life, berserk, really anything that's kind of like not like status effecty, but like a single target spell that's I think non-status applying will, besides like berserk, can actually miss. Ooh, so it looks like Kane went down in that last door fight, so unfortunately that's not good, but at least other people are gaining experience.
yeah, with two people capable of, like, where'd Tella go? Oh wait, other party. But yeah, with 2 people capable of casting life, doors aren't too awfully bad, especially because you're going to use Porom's MP pool. And if you know where the save point is, it's the second door from the left on this string of doors here. You can, especially when you have all the cabins in the world, you're not really too worried about burning through MP pools on. Yes, I actually have seen. I see chat saying I could have sworn I see Wyvern miss a wall. Yes, I have seen Wyvern miss a wall on himself, and I believe it does because then I think he defaults to his remedy, which I think is what happens when the wall falls off on him.
Yeah, that's the script. As soon as the wall wears off, his next command is remedy, and then immediately following another wall. And Netara knocking out these trapdoors, which is very smart, especially since the evil wall spot has a lot of HP and can be a very rough boss.
Yeah, definitely. Also, when Netara does make the moon play as well, definitely going to be in a good spot, especially likely going to have the double XP for key items. So I'm going to assume when Netara grabs her crystal, that she should pretty much be ready just to go straight to Zeramis when that, we're seeing low 40s already.
Oh yeah,
for all the non-fu. So yeah, she'll be definitely ready when she makes that crystal play.
Yeah, the moon is a very place to grind in quotation marks, especially if you end up getting 10 key items somewhere either before or in the middle of it, because a lot of the moon bosses have some serious experience drops.
Definitely, especially the one you alluded to earlier, which is the Lunar Dragons. I believe the best in the game at just sitting at 100,000 base. So
yeah. All right, so it looks like Nikki's probably bringing Tella back up. Oh, and a miss with Fu there. So I think she's gonna parry back around. And then not sure how much longer she's gonna grind for. She's got to be running.
Yeah, I'd say it should be right around the time. I haven't really counted how many Mac Giants have dropped at this point, but I have seen a lot of Life 1s come out, so it should be a very serious chunk of XP. Oh, dropped Tella, though.
Yeah. I'm curious as to what boss Netara is gonna try and go for first when she hits up the moon. I wonder if she'll because there's a lot of different plays that people make. Personally, the first boss I'll go check on the moon is Bahamut, because it's a really quick check, and it's the only one that's like out of the way.
Yeah, I'm kind of one of those people where I will leave Bahamut for last because he is out of the way. Now I will just do it in the normal order, the vanilla order of Subterrane. I'll go check Pale Dim, Wyvern, and work my way down. I know a lot of other runners love to jump down, check that D lunar spot first.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm sitting maybe with like 8-9 key items, and saying, hey, maybe if I can maybe I can make the biggest XP double. That'd be great. Let's see. Odin dropped the Drain Spear, I believe, was the Odin drop.
Yeah. And yeah, it was Wyvern, the Wyvern spot that did drop the Twin Harp.
Speaking of Wyvern, we have not found that Wyvern yet.
And it could be here in the sealed cave. That would be a really W2 is on. I want to see Big Bang from Wyvern.
Netara, not so much, but yeah, I would definitely like to see something a little trolly out of Wyvern there.
I don't know. The charm one that I saw the other day, where party got charmed, was definitely highly amusing.
Plague was Octomam, I believe.
Yeah, Plague was indeed Octo. So I'm not. I think Nikki should be pretty close to done, to be honest, because she's already at a relatively high level. Maybe a few more.
Yeah, and I think Foo's running pretty close to dry on the MP count
Yeah.
here. Oh wait, Palom knows weak.
Yeah, Palom's also running pretty low as well, down to like 90. So that's what, 3 more weeks, because they're 25 each.
Mm-hmm.
So Nikki should be just on the tail end of this grind. Hopefully we can. Hopefully she'll be confident enough with her levels to go take on Zeromus. I wonder if what she's gonna. Porum does have MP, but Nikki's also been in the grind for quite a while now. I'm curious as to what Nikki's strat for Zeromus is actually gonna. I wonder if she's gonna bounce spells or if she's gonna just try and go. Just go crazy on him. All right, let's see the experience here. 886,000.
That's the second grind fight.
Yeah. Only 10 or only about 9 levels or so. But everybody's in almost 60, so.
And apparently a thing I didn't know is that apparently Mac Giants like to drop Ogre and Poison Axes.
They do. If Nikki is not confident with these levels, we may see another, but I don't foresee Nikki needing to grind anymore.
Yeah, the only thing I would be slightly worried is I do know that that Tella only has, I believe, 12 agility on last check.
Yeah,
oh wait, level 32? That's a little more than I thought. I'm not sure, honestly.
She should. I think Tella gets 14, like around 36. want to say it's like 36 or so.
Could shift over a ninja hat to make it work.
Yeah, indeed. 15 is not bad at all to be rocking.
Honestly, with those levels, an anchor is likely not going to be a huge thing either.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. Even having Fu as the anchor is perfectly fine. Fu's a really good anchor since his agility doesn't change until you start hitting above level 70.
But the encounters are coming back on, so not done just yet, I suppose. Or did I look at it off? But I'm not sure.
No, she has them on.
Okay.
But Nikki has no weapon on because she's still going to be grinding on Kane because she's still going to be grinding. And you don't want to kill the searcher while you're in the grind. But I guarantee you that you'll see a weapon get put on Kane before we enter the Zeromus fight. And looks like we're getting some more Mac Giants here. So Netara is almost done with the trapdoors.
And we have seen one yellow dragon fight this seed at least.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the yellow dragon counters every attack with thunder, which is, I believe, HP based.
Yeah, I believe it is. What, 10 to 15%, somewhere around there.
I think that sounds about right. All right, let's find out what boss is here and what our item is just chilling here. I am hoping that we do run into Wyvern somewhere. I just want to see what we get for W2. I know others don't want to see it, but I would love to see Wyvern here, to be honest. And we get a spoon.
A spoon, no ninja to be seen, and honestly, with all the grinding bolt plays done here.
Mom Bomb shouldn't be too bad here. Especially, again, Avenger Kane. Avenger Kane is just really good all around. Silver, these are Catalyte flags, but instead they're a little bit modified. It's P2, W2, and 1. So those are the modifications to the flags. So with Mom Bomb, you have to do a certain amount of damage depending on what slot Mom Bomb is in, and then Mom Bomb will explode. But in higher HP boss areas, it's easier to just kill Mom Bomb straight up, just like happened there. You don't get as much experience, which is fine because Netara just ground a whole bunch of doors. But it's actually a lot safer because you don't take the chance of dying from a really powerful explosion. And as you can see, Netara is trying to warp here. You can't actually warp out of this room. You have to wait till you get to the next room. That's just so you don't bypass the boss.
Boss in that room and no exit, so Kane can stab you right in the back in vanilla.
Yeah, there's 2 rooms that you can't actually warp through. It's the one right before the crystal room, and then the very first small room that you get into that you can't actually warp from. Some of the rooms are actually faster to warp out of than they are to run, and some are faster to run out of than they are to warp. So it's good to optimize your walking, just like Netara is doing right now. She's running out of the rooms that it's faster to run out of than it is to warp.
Which I like, because I like running out of some of those rooms as well there, but... trading off warp duty over to Fu there for one last there. The question is, does she have anything else to do, or is she finally forced to the moon now?
I I think she's finally forced to the moon. Well, I mean, she still no, she did the Leviathan spot, so she knows that she knows either the crystal or whatever item is blocking the crystal is going to be on the moon. Nikki doing this really, really long grind is definitely allowing Netara to catch up. And since Netara has already done a fair grind, and her team's just a little bit different. Oh, and we see a Bahamut play first, so we're gonna get to see what item is locked behind here.
Yeah, I did see Netara definitely high 40s there, which is enough for Zeramus easy there, but she's definitely gonna get more. I can't remember where was Twin Harp on the moon. I want to actually say it was in the D-Lunar.
It was behind the Wyvern spot.
It was behind Wyvern, okay.
Yeah. So we might find out what's behind Bahamut and the Pale Dim slot, since I believe Netara does the base routing through the moon. So
I remember we did get a check on, but I cannot remember what boss was sitting up here.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But we didn't see Wyvern, so we know Wyvern could probably be behind Earth Crystal. Unfortunately, I doubt we're going to see... It could also be behind the giant bosses as well. I doubt we're going to see Wyvern this run. Oh, it was CPU. Okay.
Yes, it was CPU. Thank you, chats.
Yeah, and Silver pointing out Netara at 10 items as well, so the experience is be even crazier.
I think we're actually still at 9 because of that pass. We are on P2, so I do not believe the pass counts.
Correct. So, unfortunately, Netara still has the Avenger equipped on Kain here.
Oh, yes.
That makes it a little rough, especially if Kain decides to just straight up attack both the attacker and defender. And so what happens if you kill the attacker and defender? CPU Globe 199's your party, and 2 people. And it does a very large amount of damage.
I believe the modifier is the exact same as Mega Nuke.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like we may see a Globe 199 here really soon if Kain happens to attack again. All right. So let's see who gets taken out here. Oh, and the nuke. Oh.
Oh no.
At least Kain will be dead. That is unfortunate, though. That's a rough spot to be in. Oh, and Fu gets globed. Oh man, that's rough. Let's hope she can get everybody back up. The good thing is, if she survives this and beats the boss, killing off the attacker and defender and allowing them to get brought back allows for more experience. It's just like with the dolls, if you get the big doll and then it turns back into little dolls, you get more experience due to having more enemies killed. So I'm unsure what level Nikki, but I'm pretty sure she's just trying to make sure everybody can take a big bang to the face and survive it.
Now, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we could see a very weird Tella if she decides to pick Tella up here. I do not think she's going to do so, but I'm pretty sure Tella would qualify for the extra bonus XP here.
Yeah, that would put her in a weird spot. But if she did, she has. I think she still has a cursed ring, which does subtract 15 from all stats. So if she happened to level Tella too much and she wanted to use him as an anchor, she could level him a little bit more to where she's comfortable with taking off 15 agility, since Tella really never lives through fights anyways, especially Zeroma's fights.
The other issue is, with that remedy healing for 3,083, which tells you CPU does have over 30,000 HP in this slot.
Yeah.
Has probably undone all the good work that Kane has done, unfortunately. With that Avenger, I mean, you're going to get a little bit back through when the Globe 199s go off, and it looks like Nikki has concluded her grind now.
All right. So we're going to see her go back to the Earth, and then we'll probably see her dip into Toroya and use the pass instead of walking all the way through to the lunar subterrane. Yeah, almost level 70, more than ready to go fight this. I think she just wanted to make sure that she was leveled enough. And I'm not sure how the people of Troya feel about this giant spaceship just landing right next to their town. I'm pretty sure that would be terrifying. So Netara is still trying to push through CPU. That's a rough fight. Porm getting globed, which is good.
I think that's both white mages down, unfortunately. I don't know if she has ways of resurrection now. So I think she's kind of all in on CPU now.
Yeah. It could be good if she happens to kill the defender right away without getting a remedy off, but man, that just kind of counteracts everything that she's just done. And this Quake is going to single target the CPU. Let's hope Kane can get an attack on that defender before it gets another. Oof. Alright, we're running out. She just resets. Alright. That was a lot of time to sink into the CPU. Unfortunately, Avenger is really, really silly to actually use CPU because it makes the fight obviously very hard, especially in a high level spot.
I was about to say, with that equip swap, looking like she's going right back in for it, but now with a controllable Kane, it should be fine. It's just still going to take a while.
Oh, absolutely. But as long as the defender gets taken out, then we'll be fine. Alright, so we're about to see our Zroma sprite. I'm hoping for something new. I always hope for something new. There's 250 different options, and I've probably seen like maybe 20 of them.
We keep drawing the old ones, but yeah, Skull Kitty just came out with over 150. I keep getting the number wrong, so we're just going to say over 150. But yeah, it's definitely, we're always hoping for something new. So who do we have today?
Alrighty, here we go. Oh, Lich. I have fortunately seen this one. But as I said, Skala Kitty, one of your Valkyries, has put in a lot of work for the free enterprise community by making sprites, and she does such an amazing job. So shout out to Skala Kitty. And wow, targeting globed again.
Threw a Quake at him, and that took out both attacker and defender.
One thing that you can actually do is if you wall somebody and then get a float off really quick, and it floats one of the attacker or defender, you can actually spam Quake all you want, because one of them will actually be floating. Alright, so she gets off. She kills the defender before it gets a recovery off, so that's good. And hopefully she doesn't use a Quake again, because we don't need to see another Globe 199.
She did do a very solid amount of damage before that.
Oh, absolutely.
That second there.
Oh, and she uses virus. Ooh, no. Oh, she's gonna take a virus to the face. Oh, and it takes out Fu. At least she got Porm back up. And Nikki's doing very well. Very well on her fight, especially just the pure high levels. Nuke is going to do max damage from Palom, and probably Fusoya as well. Kane is probably going to be berserked right now, and I think we're just going to focus on curing people, and it should be a really, really quick fight, especially if Palom keeps using Nuke.
Yeah, at this point, even nerfing Big Bangs with the serious amount of hit points everybody has, really, it's about unnecessary with all she's bringing to that fight there. Should be able to just cure 4 through everything, and I think I saw like Palom only took like 400 or 800 some damage on that return nuke.
It's pretty crazy. And with the 2 adamant armors, it's just insane. Nuke over and over again is going to be a really, really quick fight. Netara slowly working on CPU, being very smart and not casting Quake again. And jumping with Kane, doing a fair amount of damage. The defender being down is fine. The attacker being up is actually the strat that we want, because Mazer just does percentage-based attack.
Yeah, it's definitely very interesting seeing like some of these other boss slots, because CPU, you don't really. I mean, it's Mazer does 10% damage all the time, especially when we played like with like Giant Percent, which is another mode we could do here. You actually see that CPU slot, and down goes the main body, so we're good now. But when you see what actual magic attack the CPU slot has,
it's insane.
Yeah.
And Nikki still making very quick work by throwing these nukes out. I don't see this fight lasting much longer at all. She's those max damage nukes are going to make a really short work of Lichimus here. And even these nuke counters on Palom even better, just because 400 from a nuke, that's just that's just crazy.
And CPU paid out in a ribbon.
Oh, very nice. Ribbon being the best helm that you can get in the game. It nullifies all status effects and prevents instant death attacks from happening to you as well. And I believe it adds +5 to most stats, if I remember right.
I'd have to go look at the stats on Ribbon again, but yeah, it's even if it didn't raise any stats whatsoever, it is definitely the best defensive headpiece in the game for by a mile.
Magic defensive by the glass helm is the superior physical defense, but the downfall to the glass helm, as Nightdew stated earlier, is it has 0 magic defense and 0 magic evade. It is purely just for physical damage. And Netara dipping the lunar subterrane. I'm pretty sure we'll see the Pale Dim slot first, which I don't remember who was there.
I believe it was Ogopogo.
That's right.
I know Nikki noped out of it there.
And Ogopogo is really rough, because Ogopogo counters everything magic with Blaze, which again is another percentage-based attack. Nikki should actually be really close to Meteor Phase. If anything, she might even just skip it with the nuke.
Yeah, with these max damage nukes, we, as Couch just said, we might not see any Meteors, so... That was a phase change, so I think we might have just hit Meteor Phase.
And if anything... just straight up skip Meteor. GG, Nikki. Finishes the time with a 2:17.06.
Well done, Nikki.
She made an amazing dip to the moon, because she didn't want to deal with Baigen, and it happened to be the play to make. She showed us the Mac Giant grind, which not a lot of people actually see. It is very useful. especially if you're not comfortable with the D machine. But it is a very good strat.
Yeah, honestly, I was actually very impressed with that moon dive when she did do so. There, got the first few levels out of the way, and then it was just running downhill for the rest of it.
All right, so Netara taking on Ogopogo. This is a rough one, especially since more than half your party is mages. I think the strat here would just to be have Kane use the Avenger glitch with the white spear and just try and punch through it, just keeping Kane attacking and curing everybody.
Yeah, I did see the hot swap, so definitely
Okay,
did use the Avenger glitch for that. But that big wave is going to spell a little bit of trouble there.
Yeah.
Ooh, 371 onto a 374 on there.
Unfortunately, that's a rough one. Ogopogo's not an easy boss. Because Ogopogo starts with a double big wave, which does half of your max HP. And it looks like we are joined by Nikki herself. GG, Nikki.
Thanks a lot.
How do you feel about your play to the moon, which was huge play?
Well, I mean, I had two choices. I had to either beat Baigen or go to the moon, and I didn't see a way to beat Baigen, so I had to go to the moon. I didn't see how I beat anything, but it was not like I had a choice at that point. And then I found Valvolus and was like, okay, that's the key to beating the sea. After that, it was... Yeah, I mean, I hate grinding on the giant, but that's a different point. But the seed was basically done at that point.
Was very impressed with your fighting of the trap chests on the moon to try and get a small level advantage there, and then going to take on the bosses. You played quite well. Is there a reason that you did so many Mac Giants versus just trying to go in at a little bit lower level?
Actually, after the second one, I thought about it. I saw my HP. I really not used, like, this puppy looked really weird. Usually I go with wheelies.
Yeah.
And so I saw my HP loss and was like 2,100, 2,300, 2,300. I was expecting to overlevel, but at that point I was like, okay, I will go out. If I find another encounter, I will fight it. If I don't, then I just go for it and try to go with it. Because, I mean, I know I can take minutes to find it as I did beforehand. But yeah, then I just got 1 second encounter going outside, and I was like, okay, then we're gonna fight it. Time to completely overlevel ourselves like never before.
Oh, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. As
yeah,
we all saw
into
you.
The underworld at that point also didn't seem really profitable. Going all the way for probably just 2 key items. Best characters would have been Sid and Cecil probably to give them an axe and some defensive armor, but it didn't seem worse.
Yeah. How did you feel after you saw that adamant armor at the plague spot?
Oh, I thought it. It was like, can I even beat that? Like, do I have enough damage output? Like, I can only deal 20k, and I was like, Plague might actually not have that much HP.
Yeah, Plague is actually the lowest HP slot.
Like, I went to the moon, went into Ogopogo, and was like, yeah, that's what I'm expecting. I'm getting wrecked. I mean, I was already preparing myself for an hour-long fight against CPU.
Yeah.
It was like the very last option I saw. But no, after I saw that adamant armor, it was like, see the solve. That was the option the seed gave us to get through. So I see that Netara apparently found a different way.
Yeah, she just punched through Baigen. She did a little grind outside of the save point in the tower to get Quake for Palom, and then she just went underground through everything. Magma Key was... Where was the Magma Key at?
I want to say... Where was it?
I know it was underground. I don't remember.
It was on Sheila, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that it was. I'm very
So
impressed by
Sheila
your
item number 1, I guess, because the pen was on the moon, as we just now see again.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was definitely a very very tough seed. Big
Yeah.
big choices to make.
It was like you saw Fusoya and were like, yes. And you look at Fusoya's black magic spells and are like, seriously? They just want to go beat Octomom, ran into Plague and died twice. That was, yeah, it was certainly something. And yeah, I saw Bang and it already didn't feel well, but was like, I can try out. Maybe the boss before gets us nice spells. Yeah, but I did not have much hope for Baiken without at least much grinding.
Yeah.
I was actually pretty sad when I saw that the freaking behemoth just killed me without really having a chance.
Yeah.
Because that's by far not the worst. Like, we have 2 dragon encounters also in those monster chests.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you that. I know the first chest you picked up on the moon with the Warlock and 3 cards paid off majorly for you. I was like, I know we were talking about it at the time. I mean, we're like just looking at it like, oh no. I mean, that's especially if you run into like the behemoth. I think you took a reset on behemoth chests or like the dragons we didn't see there, but it ended up working for you.
Yeah, a lot of small stuff, but yeah, saved in time. But yeah, a lot of it, especially until Valvalis, there was so much I just did not feel good about what was going on. I mean, you started off with Pelham, Edward, and Porum. Like, just the Mylon fight, I did not trust Twin to do AoE damage. And Mylon is not to be underestimated early.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
Can definitely wreck.
The thing is with the Mom Bomb spot, the magic attack is actually relatively low, so the lits aren't too much to worry about, but they can be the physical attack from Mylon can be intimidating.
Oh damn, Netara found some nice stuff. That white spear.
Oh yeah, Underground definitely held all the Kane weapons you could ever ask for.
Yeah,
I think the Avenger. Yeah, I think the Avenger was the Baron. But yeah, it's definitely getting through Baiken got you everything you could ever want for Kane, but just no crystal.
Yeah, I mean, Kane usually doesn't deal much damage anyway, but going into Zeromus was just an ice brand.
I actually did a Zeromus fight with Kane the other day with only the flames.
Yeah, I mean, I was still surprised that he did like 3k damage, probably because he was like level, what was 63?
Yeah, you were pretty high level, close to 70 on a few.
Yeah, I mean, just my party. I had seen a total of 16 members and traded Edward for Tella, so I have 3 people that can cast Weak, which was also pretty new.
Yeah, that was I'm actually glad that you showed off the Mac Giant grind. Not a lot of people know that you can grind on them as well.
Yeah, I mean, even if you feel like really great and always want to do D-Machine, especially if you are like lacking X's. Like as you saw, I think the last one I got 2 Old Killers and a Poison X, or the other way around. And Mac Giant is actually not too bad. Horseman grind is awful. I really don't like Horseman grind. But Mac Giant grind is like not bad at all. You just have to find them.
Yeah.
But from time investment, safetyness.
Yeah, I think the first time I tried to do any kind of giant grinding in the Giant, it was I think I ended up trying to settle on Horseman. It was terrible.
Yeah, Horsemen just don't give XP. So it was fun when I just rage killed those 3 horsemen with Pelham, and afterwards, yeah, you get 1 level and learn weak on Pelham. Sure.
Right. And Netara becoming even stronger with Kane by getting the adamant plague spot.
Yeah, Kane is gonna hit like a truck now.
Oh, absolutely. Even harder than he was before. So I'm assuming Netara is gonna finish clearing out the moon. She'll probably go do. Honestly, she'll probably turn in the pan and then go do Twin Heart, probably last.
Yeah, we're really hoping because we did not see the Earth Crystal. She's given the Adamant to Porom actually. Now she's gonna find that pigtail in the next room anyway. So.
Yeah, which probably means the Earth Crystal is either behind Ogopogo or behind CPU. I get no. Yep. She did she kill the 2 summons in the village?
She did kill the 2
yeah.
summons, and got a Luca key for trouble, I believe. Which she did end up checking, and we found a spoon down there, but she did get her grind off the trapdoors there. So she's definitely ready to go to Zeramis as soon as this is over, because I'm thinking the Twin Harp was behind Yong, wasn't it?
Yeah, Twin Harp had the crystal and the Twin Harp and Pigtail were behind Yang, which was I didn't even I played K2 so rarely. Like, this is maybe my third K2 seed. I didn't even know that there could be 2 key items behind that.
Yeah, it's just because it has the 2 ribbons and they get swapped around in the whole item pool, which is definitely interesting.
I'd say what really surprised me, because it was the last chest I opened on the way out, and suddenly I saw Poison Claw and was like, yeah, I have not seen a single claw this whole run before.
Yeah.
Oh, I've also not seen Yang except the Scratty Man. But
I believe we did see Yong. I believe he was at the end of Baron Castle,
Yeah.
but just like you experienced, we didn't find any claws, and Tara did not go for Yong at that point in time.
Yeah, I think the only claw that we saw was a Charm Claw.
you have Sid, you have good weapon for Sid, at least for Sid standards. She has Kane, who has like everything you could ask for. Swings and Fusui are also solid. I mean, the Black Mages are who deal the damage, if you don't have really strong melees, so...
Oh yeah. Okay, so Twin Harp was behind the D-Lunars, not Wyvern.
Wow, and the Ribbon also.
Yeah, it's
Ribbon was the CPU prize.
yeah.
Oh, she killed CPU. Yeah, okay, yep. She has a hard-hitting Kane, I can understand that.
She made the mistake of going in there the first time with the Avenger equipped, and
oh, yeah.
and
well, I mean, who would take it off every time just for the off chance of finding CPU? Okay, you see CPU from the outside. No, that's no point. But usually, I mean, you don't always see it.
So I think she only has the Ogopogo slot left, and then she'll probably go. I'm assuming she's gonna go turn in the pan.
I guess.
I can see her maybe taking. I can see her maybe taking one more shot at the Pale Dim slot.
Yeah.
Or did she do Wyvern spot already?
Yes.
Yeah, she did.
Oh.
Although I did not see where she picked up those Zeus gauntlets.
Yeah, I didn't see those either.
Oh, I guess not, since she's just running there.
Alright. So yeah, I maybe we'll see her go back to Pale Dim, but...
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the Fable Gauntlet, isn't it?
This is the Fable Gauntlet, yeah!
Oh, even better with the Avenger.
Where Kane was actually just standing there and the other two were like, please survive guys, I can just like these to death.
Yeah. So Netara probably will be comfortable with her levels, especially with this 2x experience, just getting a boatload for
yeah. Also,
finishing
the other point which I actually didn't mention is I didn't have any MP regen.
Yeah.
So I was also grinding the side because yeah, like who's gonna deal damage? I was already calculating, okay, I have 10 nukes with Palin who all deal 10,000 damage, so I need 10,000 more from Kane.
Yeah, exactly.
That,
and Forum also needs like enough MP to heal through the whole fight, so it would have been really difficult without that last one on the way.
We did see Netara pick up a random chest in Tower Babel that did have an elixir in it, so I know she's got that going in as well.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I skipped a few chests, being like, there's not really equipment that helps me, but yeah. I guess MP refill.
But yeah, back to when you guys were through the hook. Natara happened to open the very first chest in Upper Babel, finding that Stardust Rod, and I think that's kind of what forced her to stay through and trying to push through Vigan. Is there a reason you didn't open that one when you first hit up there?
I did open it and then reset immediately because I did not want to fight them.
Okay.
And then I fought them on the way back. So I had that Stardust Rod and equipped it to fire afterwards.
Okay.
But yeah, I just did not see, like, even with a bit of grind, that I could beat Vigan because he's freaking fast. Yes, I think the Ruby spot has 40k HP, which I didn't see at all I was gonna, like,
I
beat
think
him without solidly surviving.
24,000, I think.
Yeah, it was enough that I know when Netara cleared it, I know Palom had thrown pretty much all of his MP on like every quick he had.
Yeah.
But I mean, especially at that point, it was Hosea was surviving. Talon was starting to survive because he got all the XP, and I started to keep wanting Kane to get XP and hide him in the back row, but at that point he had like 300 HP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing you did do, is you did check the Octomom spot and the Vanilla Mist Dragon spot, so your Fusoya was two tiers up on Natara's going through there, and we were kind of hoping we'd get Quake there as well. You did actually have Meteo, and I thought that was actually pretty good play there. I think if you just had that Quake on Palom, you would have got through, although the moon definitely worked out better for you anyway, so...
Yeah, it was. I actually checked after I went out there and looked for weak, because, I mean, we only had 3 bosses left. But then I would have just gone to the giant and grinded there, but sadly I did not have weak. I was like second to last level, I believe, when it finally appeared.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, I had brought up the going to the giant and grinding to try and maybe get through Vigan, but definitely Moon was a very, very smart play.
Yeah, but the thing is, without weak, I don't know, grinding on the giant without weak.
Yeah, it can be a little rough.
Okay, with Meteo I could have gotten a bit of HP, but XP. But yeah, it's just not comparable to what you expect when grinding on the giant.
Alright, so it looks like we're gonna try and push through this pale dim slot. It looks, see, she did equip a shield on Kane, so I don't think we're gonna see the Avenger swap, but hopefully she knows to just stay away from casting spells and just curing your party. But she's going to be casting spells anyways. It looks like she moved white up, and she's plenty leveled for it. But as long as she keeps her HP up, we should be good. I would like to see her hot swap the Avenger and have the Adamant on Kane for this fight, make it go much faster.
I can definitely see why she threw the Adamant armor onto Porom, just because Porom is incredibly squishy as is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, all of them are kinda safe, so... Giving the extra safety to your main healer is definitely a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for me, it was more the other part. I only have one character that survives anyway, so... Choose a damage dealer, more or less.
So, unfortunately, Kane's taken a bunch of damage, and these big waves just aren't going to stop, and throwing these nukes is going to hurt a little bit more as well. But maybe she can get one more nuke off and wipe out Ogopogo before anything else too major happens. I think one more nuke will push through it.
Yeah. On the bright side, the less people that are alive, the more cure for heals.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. All right, see what's hidden behind Ogo here.
If it has to be the Earth Crystal at this point. No.
Protect Ring. So the Earth Crystal would probably be behind Pan. Or no, it'll be
No.
the Rat Tail. Rat Tail would be behind Pan, and then the Earth Crystal would be behind Rat Tail.
What happened to the Sand Ruby? Do we still need a spot for that also?
I don't think we found the Sand
Ruby as
Ruby.
well. So it could be
Odin?
it could be Demist hidden too.
Oh yeah, right. We didn't find Demas.
So yeah, there's definitely some options here. I'm hoping she goes right for that Twin Harp, but she'll probably go do the Pan since she does have the Underground unlocked.
Yeah, Twin Harp is usually what you do latest. It just becomes that thing. I mean,
I actually like making the Twin Harp play.
it was kind of nice that we got to use the music for quite a while. Cause Golbez.
Yeah, that's definitely one flaw that I don't like. That I don't like about the Golbez being in that spot, just due to, oh hey, this is a cool song. Oh, it's over.
Yeah, most often you just don't hear it for more than 5 seconds.
Yes, good point, Silver. Pan does have 2 items because the Sylphs, when you smack them in the face with the Pan, decide to give you something. So
Yeah, we did check the first Sheila item. I believe that was the package, I think.
I think that sounds right.
But the item you get is just a strong item. It's never a key item.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's often an item that helps. Like in this case, also an item we would not get from chests most often.
Legend Sword, so it was a key item.
Oh, what
So we can go get the Excalibur.
Is that a K2 thing?
Yeah, that is a K2 thing. K2 and above, I believe. Because technically that's a summon location. It'd be just like beating Bahamut or the Bahamut location or something like that.
It's just, for me, it's just such a small side quest, and then you have like basically 3 key items that are locked behind it out of what, 18, 20?
Yeah.
For such a side quest I did not even know of before the Rando, it's just a whole bunch.
So I'm hoping that she'll throw the adamant on with this that she's about to pick up with the pink tail, but we'll see. Because Kane with the adamant and Avenger and the crystal armlet would just be absolutely bonkers. But the Zeus gauntlets are also bonkers as well, since they had the plus 10 to strength to getting a couple more multipliers in there.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go wrong with either option, honestly. A bunch of magic defense on that crystal armlet as well, although Kane might not so much need it with all that HP he's got. But
Yeah, I mean, armor against the Romas is actually only against Nuke and the occasional virus, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like Big Bang doesn't care, so armor is really not that big.
Alright, so Earth Crystal is behind Pan. Alright. How are we gonna... Oh, yep, you can't exit, Netara.
It would be great if you could, and I think all of us have tried it at least once before.
oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Let's be honest here.
Well, I'm curious as to where she'll go. I'm hoping that she'll do Twin Harp first because that's the routing, the common routing, because you don't want to do Earth Crystal and then go all the way back to Baron and then have to fly all the way back to do Twin Harp. Usually people want to do Twin Harp and then route in the Earth Crystal.
It is optimizing full clearing strat, I would say. Like personally, most often I probably still do Earth Crystal first, also because you get 2 free characters.
Yeah. But like in this situation, you don't need the characters, so you might as well just go knock out the Twin Harp instead of dipping an Earth Crystal.
In this
And,
situation.
Throwing it right on Kane, like I was hoping. All right, Kane's pretty unstoppable now. Oh, we're gonna see Earth Crystal. All right. Maybe we'll find Wyvern and Demist here.
That is definitely the dream right now.
I want to see Wyvern. I want to see what. I mean, it's not like Mega Nuke could kill, but I think at this point that Kane is just way too fast and overpowered that he'll just one-shot Wyvern, like it's in Val's spot. But I'm hoping to see Wyvern because I like the W2 flag, and I've only personally seen 2 of the new commands. I've seen Charm and Needle, I think it was the Antlion counter.
Yeah, I've seen Needle, and I think I've seen. I can talk today. I definitely seen him use Virus as well.
Ooh.
I've also seen him use Mega Nuke in W2, but
yeah, that's no fun though.
no.
Oh, no save.
Oh.
Ooh, no save. Ooh, it could be Wyvern because we know where Plague's at. Ah, dang. She shouldn't have too much issues with this. Just a quick Quake or just a nuke. Their D-Lunars will go down really quick. The jump with the White Spear too just completely annihilates them. Very solid fight. Alright. So I think we don't know who's behind Package or Sand Ruby. So I'm gonna guess we have Rosa and Edge.
Oh, I think we got sub. There's Edge.
There's Edge. Show me Rosa.
What we got left there? Cecil and the clone? Yeah, we haven't seen the clone either.
Yeah, we haven't seen the clone. Absolutely right.
We haven't seen Rydia either. Now think about it.
There's Rydia.
I was wondering about Rydia. I got almost all the summons towards the end, so.
we had commented on that when you found on the moon, and we're like, well, there's really no point.
Yeah, I found Leviathan, Odin, and Odin was in the giant treasure monster chest.
Yes,
Yeah.
Odin was on the giant, yes.
And thought I even found a third one, but I'm not sure about that now.
Just talked to Mom.
Easy fight. Just should be dead after this Quake.
Yeah, Octomom rarely in Rando actually gets to retreat to Alex one by one.
Oh yeah. Alright, so there's really not much else this can be. I think this has to be Sand Ruby. Or either Sand Ruby or Rat Tail. Unless we find Mist Dragon somewhere. But I hope Netara just goes Twin Harp immediately.
Oh yeah.
There's not a lot left that we can check here. A Sand Ruby, cool. So that means Mist Dragon is hiding the Rat Tail wherever Mist Dragon is.
And the Rat Tail has a piece of equipment? Yeah.
The crystal sword,
yeah.
obviously.
Alright, cool.
There she goes, yep.
There we go. And, at this rate, I think we're gonna finish sub 3. As long as we don't run into any Zeromus hiccups.
As long as Zeromus agrees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'd say given her setup, she should not have problems with Zeromus at all.
Absolutely.
But sometimes Zeromus just does Zeromus stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But she's mid-50s, and I don't see that being too much of a problem, especially having Porum with the adamant armor and Kane as well. Demist and Wyvern have to be in the giant. No, one of the bosses actually, Wyvern might not exist. This seed. There's one boss that doesn't actually exist.
Alright, that might be it's a water hack spot.
Yeah, so because we don't actually fight the water hags, the vanilla water hag spot, so Wyvern may not exist, but Demist will. Demist is guaranteed to be in the giant since we have fought every other boss.
Well, actually, we have not seen the Kaipo Inn boss. Demist could be
actually
there.
true. That's very true.
Both spots where I've seen Miss Dragon before, so.
I personally haven't, but I know Invenerable had a very good story about finding a necessary demist in the Kaipo Inn, checking the package.
Yeah,
the fortunate thing about my secret happened was that I didn't have moon access.
Exactly. We did see Odin. Odin was
at Plague. Or not Plague,
no.
but
Yeah, Odin was at Wyvern. Valvalis was at Plague.
No, Odin was at Lunardies.
I thought that was Yang at Lunardies.
No, Yang was what was it called? Ogopogo.
Fabul Gauntlet was Ogopogo.
Fabul Gauntlet was Wyvern. Or do I mix them up myself?
The Ogopogo spot was the Fabul Gauntlet. The D-Lunar spot was Yang. Valvalis was in the Plague spot, and Odin was in the Wyvern spot.
Why is Wyvern the last one in the freaking tracker when Wyvern is the second one available in the order? What the heck? Okay, sorry for assuming that the tracker did things.
Oh, no worries.
All I remember from casual is that I died regularly at spots.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Same here. But yeah, so one boss will not exist. It was... What was that, Odin?
it wasn't Mega Sisters. They were on the Baron Throne. Odin was... What was Odin?
Odin was just so far back right now that I don't even remember.
I don't know, I never had the Baron key.
Yeah, Netara pretty much beat every boss. I think she's gonna have like a 35 out of 38. It's still a really good time for 100%ing it, pretty much. The lobby.
Especially with those roadblocks we've been put on the way.
Oh yeah, definitely. So unfortunately, Kane being ultra fast, jumping there, he landed relatively quick. Let's see if we get the luck that you got, Nikki, by only having one person die, getting disrupted, or whatever it's called. Demolished. All right, so there's one. There's two. All right, okay. Only 2 people died. It's better than 3. Did Netara put the ribbon on anybody?
I think it's still in her inventory.
Yeah, I think so too.
Unfortunately, that could have stopped another one, but an easy 8,000 jump from Kane there. No big deal.
Simple one shot.
And here we are about to see the crystal. And I have a feeling that she's just going to go right to Zeromus. I'm pretty sure she's confident in her team right now. Especially having everybody almost to level 60.
Yeah, this is definitely the point where in Seeds with shops, everybody would go make last-minute preparations, try to find their Cure 3s, their Silk Webs. It's kind of nice not having to worry about those, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so see a save here, hopefully. Yeah, removing the shield, good idea. I hope she leaves the white spear on and doesn't just throw the Avenger on. If she throws that ribbon on too, give him a little bit more agility. Kane would probably take a lot less damage. I think throwing the ribbon on Porum would actually be a really good idea, and getting rid of that glass helm. I hope Porum doesn't end up getting one shot due to not having enough mag defense.
Yeah. Does she also have 2 gold apples left?
She does, I think.
I was super surprised, like finding it with 2 of them. I didn't even know they would exist in T3, but...
So she decides to throw it on Fuso and the Protect Ring as well, which is a good idea. Fuso will be able to survive full power Big Bang.
Even with a glass helm, that adamant armor should keep.
It should, but it's gonna be. I think it'll be really close. All right. I don't think she's gonna have any issues with the fight though. Besides maybe Sid being a little over agility wise, she could toss a cursed ring on him to bring him down. That was 23, was it?
Yeah,
Or
I think
was that 28?
that bring him down to 8, I believe, which is a little too much. I think I'd probably just throw.
Yeah, that might be a little too much drop.
Does
I'd
it
just
even
probably
help?
throw a foo in the middle there. Ooh, drop Palom down to 9. That's a little uncomfortable wise. Plus, you probably want to spam a spam nuke with Palom since he will be over leveled.
Yeah, the problem is the casting doesn't do that much. If like 14, 28, so 43, 42 are the best, like in 14 steps, and casting does minus 15.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, sometimes it helps, but most often you just step the same as before.
We still have that siren there. We did not take we did not fight the one yellow dragon egg we could have fought in that. See?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's 3 apples there.
Oh wow.
Dragon the elixir up there. That's probably going to be necessary.
Very good thing to drop on Porum, which hopefully she does. Very good. All right, and now she'd have no issues making it. And here we go. Netara is pretty sure, feeling pretty confident right now that she can just go ahead and walk right through Zeromus. I am curious as to where Wyvern was, if Wyvern happens to be in the seat at all, though.
Yeah, I actually thought about at some point, like, might as well kill the bosses. They also give nice experience, but those bosses can be rough.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna treat it at least a bit seriously. Because, I mean, it's not like I actually wanted to trade my team members at that point because I already had some grinding and levels and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Then again, with Fusoya and Pelham having weak, I probably could have done it because that last character would have caught up so heavily.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we made a little bit of a mention when you still had Tella down there. I know you're going to use it for agility anchoring anyway, but I thought the thought crossed my mind that having a telecatapult would be rather kind of funny.
Alright, you should probably see the adventure hot swap here. Very nice. This should be... I expect to see Kane around 4,500 damage or so.
That sounds about right.
And then it should just be a really quick fight.
Yeah, good old Lichamus throwing out all the nukes just like we know him.
Ooh, very big nuke roll from Zeromus on Kane. That was a rough one. But Kane should be able to survive this full power Big Bang. Or not full power, this nerfed one. Unless the RNG is really bad. Oh yeah, easy peasy. Yeah, this will be a really quick fight. Kane is just throwing up the damage like nothing else.
Sid is trying. Looks like we got a wall coming up, so it looks like we're gonna see something get bounced here.
Oh baby. Ooh, I probably would have tossed the wall up with Fu and cured with Porum instead. But I hope Kane has enough to survive a full power Big Bang if Porum can't get a cure off in time. Alright, so she should be good.
Yeah, I don't think I saw the second shake yet.
Yeah, the second shake actually hasn't gone, so she'll be plenty fine. And with these damage rolls, it should be over really quick, especially if she keeps... Oh, she's gonna try and nerf it. Let's hope the nuke goes off before. Probably would have stayed on Fu there just to make sure, like, Palom doesn't get knocked in the face. Ooh, interesting.
We got a phase change, so that could still be a full power Big Bang coming here.
Yeah, that could definitely not feel very good. But everybody is at full-ish health, so it shouldn't be too bad. Let's see if she's gonna try and bounce a white. Oh, she is very nice. She's gonna try and push it. Like I said, this fight should be over relatively quick. I see no problems with anything happening, especially with Kane just casually throwing up almost 4,000 every time. Throws an elixir on Fu. That's very good. Get his MP back up. Casual, just rolling through, just like you did, Nikki. And almost gonna sub 3 this seed.
It almost just feels incredibly good just walking over Zeromus after a seed like this. It's just
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mine started still a bit sketchy, but at some point it was like really nice, just casting Mucus Pelham and Fuslayer being the Berserk station. But yeah, I think it also feels really nice when you are so over leveled that you can just use wall strats.
Yeah, looks like Sid still had that wall up, so we don't want to directly attack Zeromus anymore with spells.
very kind Big Bang roll there.
Oh, very kind. Oh, she
Classic.
nukes it.
Oh, well, the wall just fell. Yep.
She mistimed the wall a little bit, but she's already in medio phase. This fight is over.
Everybody dodged the medio.
Yeah. Rip Sid, indeed. You know, Sid deserved that.
Sid deserves a rest, or Sid deserves being nuked in the face?
Yes. Oh, she gets a reflected nuke. Oh no.
Oh, because she forgot she put nuke on.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, another
no.
one. Oh my. Uh-oh.
She'll be fine. She's got life too.
Oh, yeah,
She'll pick Kane back up here. And...
It's just, it's gotta hurt to see that.
Oh yeah.
Short reminder, that's why the PSP version is superior. It actually shows you when a character is reflected.
Yeah. Instead of trying to guess.
I really wish this version would do that. It would help so much in some fights.
So it's only fitting that it ended on Quake, though.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
GG.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're taking my audio, we're gonna get duplicate on the
Hello.
stream, just so folks know. I can fix that quickly though.
Yeah, do so.
Okay, hold on. Let me fix that before we keep talking.
All right.
No, wrong speakers.
That's the same reason I told Hex
Okay,
to
cool.
actually
You won't be duplicate on the stream. What up?
Okay. I need to ask you something very important.
Okay.
What is your problem with
Okay,
Kane?
cool. You won't be duplicate on
What do
the
you
stream.
mean? What is my problem with
Why
Kane?
did you nuke him?
Because he's a jerk. He knows what he did. Oh my god.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
As
What
soon
is
as
my
I
problem
did that
with
and I
Kane? I love
remembered the
Kane.
reflected thing, I'm like,
yeah,
I have 2 nukes
'cause
coming
he's a
at my
jerk.
own. He knows what
Thankfully,
he
it's
did.
Medio
Oh my
phase, so this
God,
is
yeah.
easy
As soon
peasy
as I
town,
did
but
that and I
still.
remembered the reflected thing, I'm
It
like,
was-
I have 2 nukes
I
coming
seriously
at my
had
own
to
people.
laugh. I was like,
Thankfully,
well,
it's Medio
bye,
phase. So this
folks.
is
You worked so hard in this
seed, Kane, and I murdered you in cold nuke.
you played very well, Netara.
Thank you so much.
I
I was
am-
very happy with that, considering I got every item except for like 1.
Yeah, you pulled what I was too afraid to do.
Which was what?
I dodged bike in forever and all eternity.
Oh no.
I have never seen the underworld.
Oh no. Oh well. We did it.
Yay, yeah, I went to the moon instead because I thought like that's the only choice I have. And yeah.
Well, seems to have worked out.
Yeah, Valvalus somehow worked out.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
exactly what I had, and then I got the adamant armor, and the seat basically just happened.
The
And
fact we were T3 S5 and I still managed with 2 adamant armors, I was pretty happy.
You did. You played very well. You prepared right for Baigen once you realized that you could get Quake.
Yeah, exactly. I was like I'm close to this, but with the way I'm set up, I can't quite get it. I was just trying to get some levels, but the instant I saw Quake specifically, I was like, oh, that's all I need now. Let's go. Because you need those things that are can go right through the wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The Stardust Rod right in that chest probably helped on that decision immensely
Well,
as well.
yeah, absolutely. And it's just Quake is so good, and that's what makes Palom so good over Rydia. Like, she's my favorite, but you just can't beat Palom in that situation. He gets nukes and Quake and stuff so early comparatively.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What do you feel was your best play of the seed?
Oh my god, I don't know that there were any. Even though it was the wrong choice, I feel right about going underground first versus the moon. I would have struggled a lot more going to the moon first and then would have ended up underground anyways. So I feel good about trusting my gut, picking a path, and just going for it. And even though it ended up basically every item in existence, it still was just over 3 hours, which for me is such a good time. So I'm super happy with that.
Now that I think about it, I think you also didn't have Meteor at that point.
No, I didn't.
It is like more consistent to think that way.
Yeah.
I killed the Mist Dragon spot and the Octomom spot after some
Uh-huh.
problems, and hence I had Meteor, which helped me to at least get some experience on some people.
Yeah. No, that would absolutely do that. Well, we're running a bit late, so we should probably let things go so we can get the next crew of ladies in, because it is the Dragon Warrior 2 Rando with Spark over.
All right. Well, I just want to say GG. Again, you both played very well, and I want to say thank you. I know it was kind of last minute, but greatly appreciated to have us, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you to both you and Nightdew for covering last minute for us. Very appreciated. I'm sure you've rocked it, even though I heard none of it.
No problem, and very well played again, both of you.
Thank you. Okay, it's all yours, Hex.